Yes, we're back again, folks. How are you all doing?
Yep,
Shit, I forgot the Jew in the oven.
Oh! Oh no! Run!
Hold on, I forgot the Jew in the oven. Be right back.
Oh no.
Every time with this lad.
So welcome back, folks. We decided to do a little quick bonus episode just to round off some stuff from yesterday and hopefully finish the main adventure that they're currently on. If not, well, fuck me then, I guess. We'll see how it goes, regardless. Last time, yesterday they pretty much just dabbed on an entire ambush by counter-ambushing the ambushers. Just like in Nam, and it was surprisingly effective.
Come to me, brothers!
Bill put a Fagausi mine on the ground, and then they all got caught in the crossfire as it went off, so...
You think you can bamboozle me, nigga?
Han, one hit a boss. Sort of. And Luke was had.
One hit him. Holy shit, that's fucking...
However, the situation now you find yourselves in after gathering all the loot and cremating the bodies. You now have a problem. Your vehicle is somewhat damaged. Skog, could you make me a common lore tech just to look it over, if you so wish?
Oh, no, not that tab.
Alright. Even despite that roll, it's plain to see that the wheel's a bit fucked, and you're going to need to spend some time fixing this thing. So, if you're all willing, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the repair vehicle rules, which are in the Oni War book.
Hooray.
So first of all, we have to determine the repair test. Do you, Skog, have any of these three skills? Common Lore Adeptus Mechanicus, Common Lore Tech, Forbidden Lore Adeptus Mechanicus. Do you possess any of them?
I have Adeptus Mechanicus, Tech, and Archaeotech.
That's pretty good, actually.
So
These are the
the
essential
Archaeotech's
repair
not too relevant.
skills. And they're the bare minimum required for the most simple repair test. But you must have at least one, right?
Yeah, I have, I think, 2 of the required options, so...
Okay. Now, first of all, we determine on this table the repair location and the conditions of where you're doing the repairs. So this can range from pristine, forge world, well-stocked fortress or void repair facility, so, you know, plus 30, plus 20 encampment, Fample supplies, hive world, all the way up to very hard, minus 30, a featureless sun-scorched desert, endless ice sheet. Dense and possibly carnivorous jungle, poorly supplied base or encampment, in the thick of an ongoing battle, under orbital bombardment or behind enemy lines. Now, I don't think it's quite that bad, but I will say it's probably a minus 20, the initial modifier, because local area contains primitive cultures incapable of supplying the materials required for repairs. And there's also blizzards and sandstorms and shit like that. And it's something of a ruined world for the most part, so... yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to say the initial conditions are minus 20.
Parts available, pretty much fuck all. Parts required, yes.
Potentially carnivorous jungles, that's probably a hidden reference to Junker 5 somewhere in the book.
Oh damn!
Alright. Now... depending on how this test goes, each degree can decrease or increase the time it takes to conduct the repairs, and so forth. Now, let me just consult some of the things. Repair time. So basically, Skog, your degrees of success, I said, will influence the time this will take, and also, you can either rush the job, which will make the test a lot more difficult, or you can perform careful repairs, which is the inverse of that. The test will take longer, but you gain a significant bonus to the test.
I mean, if
A rush job will halve the time, but the repair will suffer minus 30. Careful will double the time but give you a plus 30 to the test.
I mean, yeah, if we've got time, we might as well.
What are our rations at? Because I do believe we oversupplied for them to an extent.
Yep, we have about 2 days more than we initially bargained for, and that was a week's worth, if I recall.
Okay. We'll also say there are 2 tests you'll need to make. Well, really there's 1 test you have to make if you want to get moving. The other one's optional. You'll have to repair the drive systems. One of the wheels is a bit fucked. And you'll have to... you could potentially repair the hull damage as well.
Okay.
Is there any way I could use my blacksmithing trade to help?
Yes. First of all, I will get the original test in, and then basically Gren will make an assist test. That's how I'll do that. So first of all, I presume you want to repair the drives at the very least.
Yeah, that's generally the
That's
priority.
the main thing. So I'll let you decide where you want to make a rush job or a careful repair. Now, well, it's up to you really, guys. I won't say any more because I'm aware of the situation, so...
Well, I will put it to the party. How long have we got?
We've got how many days have we been traveling now? 2? Or 3?
You have actually made quite good time thanks to Nulla's successful navigational checks earlier and some good driving by Voss. So you're actually ahead of schedule a little bit from what you were expecting. You would have potentially arrived this evening, in fact. Because it's around sort of late morning, almost midday now. You would have potentially arrived this very same day if you hadn't taken damage, but you could still make it, potentially.
Do we have a day to spare?
I think preferably we should probably get to a place that has a relatively decent sort of view of the environment, and then just set up there and repair the
if we do a rushed repair, isn't it better to just get to the farm then instead of trying to set up somewhere else?
thing is, we don't know what's out there.
It will not
And
be a secure. I guarantee you, if we're going
may
there,
wish
it's
to
not a
leave-
secure location.
Yeah, we may wish to leave quickly. And in such a case, it's probably best to have an intact vehicle before we trigger anything.
Furthermore, this is a rental.
But no matter what we do, if we do a rushed repair and then move to a safer location and then do a longer repair, that's going to take way more time than if we just try to repair it here. No matter what.
Suppose that's true.
So we were ambushed here, yeah, but at this point we pretty much have this location more or less secure because we're in the middle of a wasteland.
Yeah.
If anyone,
With a
at
massive
this
pyre
point-
spewing smoke to indicate where we are to every other scavenger,
That's true.
as we sit on top of a pile of equipment you don't normally see outside of the Tempestus Scions.
That is true.
Give me a timescale, guys. I'll
Right.
do what I can.
As a GM, I can show you this, Skog. Looking over the motive systems of the vehicle, you reckon, on average, if you don't rush it or take your time with it, just on average, this will take about 4 hours, like as a neutral thing, to fix the motive systems.
Alright.
So if you want to be more careful with it, it would take 8 hours, but you would have significantly improved chances of repairing the vehicle if you took your time with it.
And
I
how
also
would a rushed
said to
repair
them,
be?
How long
Rush
have we got,
repair would
guys?
take 2 hours, in fact, but it'd be significantly harder to rush the job.
I mean, are we on a timescale?
Yeah,
You tell me.
The food is major
food.
Got a week's worth.
God, if we're going to arrive tonight, we want to move to a better location, regardless.
I What I suggest is that we patch this thing up as best we can, and during that time, everyone who can catches up on their sleep, and then we're fresh for the fight when we get there. Those of us who are on watch during this, they can be asleep during the ride there.
So we're not going to. So we're just going to stay here while it repairs, or are we going to try to move to a better location?
We may need to move slightly in order to get to a location that isn't on fire.
Yeah.
We should probably maybe get to a sort of elevated position.
Well,
so that
in that
we have
case,
the high ground.
So we're going for a rushed repair into a normal repair then?
Sounds
either
like
way-
us.
This thing can still move, right?
Can it?
It
I can
will
always
not
push it.
move in its
Find
current
out, I guess.
state.
It can't move, no.
No.
So
You're gonna have to do
are we-
repairs here, and then if you want to repair the hull
Stu.
now or later, that's up to you.
Would
So
I
are
be
we
able
going-
to push it?
You could potentially all push it, but you risk damaging the motive system more unless you're careful with it.
Can I
let's not risk
do-
that.
Can I do an awareness check to see if I can spot the nearest safe-esque looking location?
Sure.
We
Plus
are in
20
an area
10.
surrounded by big rocks.
There is one path forward through the canyon as far as you can see. It's a little dusty today, but the visibility's not too bad. You reckon you're not too far from the opening, the other side of the canyon. You almost made your way through it, in fact, before you got ambushed.
So I would say that if not for the giant fire, this is really the safest place, isn't it? At the moment.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the fire seems to be more or less a beacon for potential murders, which would suggest we might want to get into cover.
Yeah, we may wish to set up in some tactical positions.
I say we have larger friends. Push the vehicle into a bit more behind one of the rocks or into a better covered position. And then we try to set up while the cat fixes it.
I think
Alright,
that's a
I
very
mean-
agreeable decision.
We got a lot of cover here, but if you want to move somewhere better, then, you know, that's
Well,
sounds
sort
like-
of.
Yeah.
We might have cover here, but we could always have more direct cover.
Yeah.
Although it
Alright.
is a bit risky because we could damage the vehicle if we.
I mean, if
pull
you
it.
want to walk home, potentially, then as long as you're willing to accept that, I'll do whatever you ask.
I've made my proposition. The big guys can make their decision.
Based on our time schedule, we might want to rush it, but not rush it so much that we break something.
So 4 hours then, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we just set up on good Overwatch positions, we could just leave it here for now.
Fair
There,
enough.
there are rocks, as I said, nearby. It's not the worst
Yeah.
position you could be in, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
We move to see coming enemies from here and potentially here.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably be the best
these
positions.
two places are covered. That means we have to take care of these areas ourselves.
Yeah.
Very well. Then let's set up. And Ursula, yes, we shall try to defend this position. If you may, I suggest you get to work, so that we may get out of here.
Guess
I gotta get.
So out of character, everyone agrees on 4 hours.
yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Right. Skog, please make
Yeah.
me common lore tech test at. Let me just calculate this. Minus 20, minus 10. And you're not rushing or doing anything else.
Actually, I have Jane helping, whatever.
You have -10, and then Gren also make me your blacksmithing test at neutral.
Let's go.
Let's see how well this goes.
So what was the positive on that one to do? You cut out slightly for me.
-10 is a common lore tech test.
But I got a 7.
That will be in. Oh!
Yes!
Also, if it is a tech use test, which I don't know if it's related,
It somewhat is as well.
I believe it's a +10 bonus.
Yeah, it's something of a tech
and
use. The tech use basically gives you
it
bonuses to the
doesn't.
test, which I
And I
It's Master
succeeded.
Engine Seer that doesn't actually have any recorded buffs. Bizarre.
And I succeeded on the blacksmith. So I guess she doesn't have a -10 anymore.
pretty much. Let's have a look.
So that is 25 against the target 50 then, due to my blacksmith check.
Which is that is 3 degrees success. So it takes you about 3.5 hours to fix the vehicle.
Okay.
You managed to scrape a half hour of it, thanks to Gren's little ingenuity and his own brand of improvisation.
Metallurgy.
He can act as he can retemper
He
metal
pretty much
and
fuses some
weld,
metals together.
and
with fires.
my suit has got a nail gun built in, which helps.
Yep. So you managed to fuse some of the drive shaft stuff together. Managed to patch up the wheel, reattach it, and the vehicle, as far as you can tell, can move again now. There shouldn't be any problems.
Oh, good.
It is now about
yes.
2 in the afternoon, so.
Sess. It's good to do some honest work every now and then.
Now,
Okay, then.
the question is, would you like to repair the hull as well, or would you want to do that later? You're considered lightly damaged. You're not below half your hull's hit points.
So
At
Yeah,
most, you
I'll
have a
do it.
few scorched bulkheads and some dents from the autocannon rounds glancing through it.
my question in that regard is, if we were shot by a glancing missile, would we explode?
Probably not.
Then I say we're good. So long as the vehicle is not so busted it's going to die in one hit, I don't really see the problem.
Alright.
I mean, unless you have fucking me or Ron hit it once.
Huh.
Chain fist.
No! God damn it!
Right.
A weapon designed to breach armored hulls.
Rather no.
Would you guys like to set off, or is there something else you're looking to do here?
Oh, in the meantime, I've just collected some rocks.
Alright. You now possess rocks.
Yeet. Shall carry them back to the vehicle and
They
put them on the
weigh a bit, and they're a bit cumbersome, but you have rocks.
You've actually collected rocks.
Like, large rocks,
Yes.
I'm presuming.
Fucking
why not?
Gorgons.
Grog made promise of no fire club, but Grog promised nothing about rock.
What?
What's the plan,
Zone
gentlemen?
of 19. Are we repairing? I vote we just get moving. The hull seems damaged, but not too damaged, so I don't see the problem.
Alright.
Anyone vote against that?
Kind of impartial to it, so.
I guess that means we're good then. Jump on.
I was gonna say speed an hour
think
forever,
so.
hold your autism.
Oof.
Alright,
Well,
saddle up, faggots. Okay. depart. On track bill along.
Come on, Ross. Keep out.
Woo! Presumably Voss is driving. Nulla's not here. I'm going to presume Nulla is asleep after the long journey, even though he's a space marine after the fight. He indisposes himself with something. Like,
Nulla enjoys the finer things in life.
yes.
Rest.
So, you make your way out of the canyon without too much. The motor drive's a little shaky, but it's holding up. It's fairly sturdy thanks to repairs now. The hull creaks a bit under the weight of the auto cannon rounds that have done damage to it, but it's still holding up. Now, would one of you please make a navigational check at +20, as the area you emerge out of from the canyon is a bit more open. You're back out in
So
the desert plains.
So who has navigate surface?
Yes.
Nope.
Nolus was navigating last time.
I've got one. I've got 1 point in it. So I suppose I could do it. If no one else can.
Yeah, Null's isn't really
Can't
here.
navigate.
Yeah.
Roll it.
So yeah,
What's
I
the
do believe you
modifiers
get a
do?
plus.
+20, sorry.
Alright.
Sorry.
Oof.
You don't fail too badly. You basically go roughly in the right direction towards the farm, but you take a couple of wrong turnings or maybe a few routes that were less direct because you saw something and weren't quite sure what it was, so you erred on the side of caution. So the journey
Grug
takes a
saw the
little
rock.
bit longer than it would normally, but it's not too bad.
I've always liked the particular color called shade of red of the skies on this planet. That reminds me of my past.
Oof.
Yeah, we can take a wild fucking guess as to what part of your past was related to this color.
Alright, Voss, please make me a +10 operate surface check as well. See how well the ride goes.
Okay.
Roar of blood. Call off the trenches.
God damn it.
Yeah, so Bill's driving is passable at best. Like, he's trying his best, but the newly patched up motive system is giving him some trouble as he tries to navigate the winding rocks and plains and dunes of this great sea of sand.
It
It looks
turns
like a man
out
trying to fist fight the controls.
Yes.
it turns out one of the wheels are crooked.
Yeah, something like that. But
Yeah, we're going like slightly left.
it slows your journey down a little bit more. Not drastically, but a little bit more. Would you like to do anything else while you're on the way there, like prep anything?
An awareness check to spot anything on the way.
Sure.
Yep.
You can all do that, +20.
Sure.
Would the Auspex help a bit more? Or not?
Your specs can help, yeah. I'll give you another +10 for that. So.
Yeet.
That was +10, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeet.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the deserts are rather striking and clear today. As the evening winds down, though, you do notice a few beasts in the desert. They don't pay you lot any attention, but they're, you know, running around on the way. It's like Africa, you know, with the big flocks of lions and shit, or whatever, running around the herds.
I'm putting on Toto right the fuck now.
Pretty much. Yeah, parts of this planet are remarkably like Africa, not just Saharan sand Negroes, you know.
Bless the rains down in Africa.
Besides getting a nice taking into the sights, nothing hostile appears to you throughout the journey. But as you get closer to the farm, the light starts to fade and the sun starts to go down. And we now draw you to the farm.
Welcome to the ranch.
Give me a moment, I'm just going to prep something.
We appear to have arrived at Skyfall.
In the scaffolds. Oh, no.
This looks more like an insane asylum than a ranch.
You arrive
Yes,
at
we
dusk of day 2. Please all deduct, I believe you ate this morning already before the battle, so please deduct another 2 rations for the day, for each of you. So, 12. There's, no, 7. There's 7 of you, isn't there, because Jane's a person as well.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, she also requires food.
So 14.
And someone in the chat will probably tell me, but Stu, Space Marines don't need to eat as much as regular humans. I know, it's just a simplification, because...
Surely they would need to eat more.
Well,
Well,
actually,
Well, yeah, but it's a
Actually,
big lore problem, honestly, that
Yeah.
most G-dubs mostly hand waves it. It's like, yeah, they've got super physiology, whatever.
Their rations are basically just a brick of petrol.
Yeah.
if I
I've removed 14 rations.
Yeah,
By the
cool.
way.
Good
If I got nutrient recycling, I could just go 2 weeks without food.
You can just
before
take a
having to
shit
pay.
and then eat it after.
Yeah. To be fair, it would probably still be better than the Imperial Guard ration.
Terminator armor. You could pick up a rock and eat it, and it would still have.
Yeah, Space Marines can literally eat rocks, actually.
Could I instead of eating one of the rations, eat one of the rocks?
Sure, add +2 rations back to the battleground.
What even?
That's fucking... Oh, that is
Also,
so bootleg.
Blackpool
Like,
sends regards.
The only person who knows that I'm an Astartes is Gren. So you guys just see a man in a trench coat eating a rock.
You probably see the
Rocks.
Belcher's gland at work, though, to be fair, as he's spitting on the rock to break it down a little bit.
It's
Much.
like fucking. It's like he spits on the rock and it turns to mush in his hand and
Yeah.
then he eats it. It's just like
Degenerate. That is just.
X-Gon, give it to you.
It's a bit of a concerning sight, to say the least. But
Yeah,
besides,
even the Norlight is looking
Yeah.
at you weird.
Man's
Well,
gotta eat.
I do not believe that it would taste much different from what we had this morning.
so, you pull up in front
Has more
of the
What
farm,
gives the flavor?
and you saw fields on your way in, but they look unattended, like they've rotted, long since rotted away. But you feel like there would have been impressive yields here at one point. You see a few outhouses, you know, power the various buildings, some sheds for storage, usual shit you'd see on a farm, a few silos, all that stuff. But you are drawn to the main building of the home, of the farmstead. And as you draw close to the front entrance, you see a armored vehicle parked outside near the front door. Seemingly
Can I roll
unattended, it's powered down.
Can I roll lore war
Yes, plus
to
20.
identify?
I take it that belonged to the Grenadiers.
What
You
is it?
surmise this was once indeed a Lucius pattern chimera that has long since removed its markings and bears the colours and a few of the sigils and insignias of the Iron Warriors Legion on it now.
It seems as we have found it seems as perhaps we have found the vehicle of a former patrol.
Seems
so
like we
much.
found a ride home.
Unless it's
Yes.
deserters.
Or we have found the parts for our vehicle.
So, either way, I wouldn't discount the possibility that they weren't just a patrol. They might be deserters, for all we know.
If they are deserters, then it is good. Then that is a good thing, for it means that me and Ron can do our job.
Excellent. I leave it to you. I don't particularly like.
I shall turn to my fellow sortie members from the Red Sun. Press gang.
What's up?
Press gang.
Are you...
I'm asking for the other members of the Red Sun's Crusade. Press gang them. Press gang, gang.
They might be willing.
Here's the thing.
We got the Salamander crew, didn't we?
Could you all make me a neutral intelligence check?
A what?
A neutral intelligence roll.
Grug not bright.
I know! Haha!
Okay.
No.
Grug not bright.
Voss
Grug C.
and
Rock.
Ziv, of all people, suddenly remember, hang on. Sergeant Zhang told us there was a patrol that went out here a few weeks ago. It's probably them.
This is a patrol.
Yeah. We found a patrol.
Yep, because if you remember, well, you rolled so you remembered that they sent out a patrol here a week ago to check out the farm, see if it could be salvaged and if the generator could be put back on. You also remember from the briefing she told you the generator will most likely be underneath the house.
Excellent. Gentlemen, we should go downwards.
Where would you like to go? Would you like to look at the Chimera first or go straight to the house? Or anything else?
I think that if you'll allow me to come with another one of my suggestions. What if, as we let some of our more tech-savvy look at the Chimera and search it out, while those of us who are ready for combat stack up on the door of the farm and just stand and wait until our more tech-savvy are ready to proceed.
Sure. Why not?
Alright. If you wish to do this, plonk your tokens just there for the door and just a few tech people by the Chimera. It won't take long, to be honest, anyway. You'll just have a glance through the Chimera and see what's happening.
So we should secure the perimeter first and then move in. Make sure there's nothing blindingly obvious we're missing.
Well, yeah.
Believe that is your plan,
So
yes.
the implication that my primary use is technology is...
Could think of fire.
Skog, just make me a plus 30 Common Lord Tech.
Sorry. Yeah, you go over that again.
A plus 30 of Common Lord Tech.
Cool. You cut out on the words the number and the skill on my end, so I'm like, make a test of on.
Okay. Right. Ursula, as the rest of the team's getting out, getting ready to go Rainbow Six Siege on the building, you glance over this Chimera. The hull looks to be in okay shape. If you see a little bit of battle damage, not a lot though. It appears to be armed with a heavy bolter on the hull and a multi-laser on the turret, as you see in the art.
Standard. Yep.
And it does appear to also have the brackets of las guns on the side near the back of the hull.
Alright.
You manage to pop inside. It's unlocked pretty much, so you can just get inside the hull, back of the thing. It's fairly clean and orderly. You see boxes of ammo, a few spare weapons. They appear to be bolt-action rifles. And a few loose grenades as well. Mostly just frags. So.
I think we're well enough fitted out for frags, but
if you wish, you can clamber in and have a look at the driver's seat and just check out anything with the vehicle itself, or the fuel gauge or whatever.
Yeah, I could step through into the cabin.
Yep. It's again pretty clean, pretty orderly it seems. Almost as if no one left. The fuel gauge appears to be
a suspiciously good condition.
The fuel gauge seems alright. It's got a decent amount of fuel, enough to get you back to the city, certainly, and a little bit more to spare. The engine, the controls, the brakes, all seems to be good. So, seems to be a fully operational Chimera.
Alright lads, we've got to back up if anything should happen to our Tarox, or if we are feeling particularly multitasking, we can just drive that one back as well.
You do check the power levels of the multi-laser, and you check the rack of the heavy bolter. It appears to have been used a little bit, but not excessively, not in prolonged combat. Maybe some light skirmishes, potentially.
Not terrible.
Let's not forget to roll awareness, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not awareness roll.
Isn't it around nighttime?
It's
currently?
dusk.
Pray sense goggles, motherfucker. I can see in the dark.
Yeet.
I
Dark
can
side.
make light.
The void is so pretty.
So, are you all ready to proceed to the farm?
Are you ready, kids?
But the void.
Ah, bollocks.
One moment.
Alright,
My
what's the
vision was
map?
turning around, looked directly into the sun. Shit.
It's so pretty.
Roll awareness, Ron.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at the modifier of the Auspex.
I think it's plus 20 actually, but I've been accounting for that. So.
He's too distracted by Civ looking at the fucking void.
Alright, I'll roll it.
Oof.
Still distracted by Civ looking at
The void is actually quite pretty now that you say.
I know.
Alright.
Just look.
They Savoy.
So, you three, the Three Stooges. It seems
I
to be a
failed
normal
too, by the
house.
We all failed.
I failed too, by the way.
Yep. Nothing to see here. Proceed right in. Looks pretty nice.
Yes, the void. It just looks so pretty.
Must in the wind.
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you mean the wind?
Uh,
It's the void.
Let me know when you're ready to enter the home.
That'll be up to Skog.
I mean, I've relayed the information I got from you guys. Got a functional backup vehicle.
Good, let me know that. So, are we ready to proceed, then? I believe,
Yes.
I believe so.
me and...
Unless you want to look at the
Ah, wait, good quality Auspex allow you to re-roll perception tests.
Sure.
Ooh. Nice.
Yeah.
Auspex is really good, apparently.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeet.
Ooh.
Okay, Ron. You look at the Auspex and kind of tap it a bit, like, fuck, it's not working. Then it starts to work. You register at least one life sign on the first floor. It's a little faint, but it's there. Besides that, you
One
can't
sign
see
of
much
life on
else
the
on
first
those
floor.
logs.
Very well. For safety, I suggest me and Ron shall take point, followed by Civ.
Yes.
Then I suggest, in this order, Miss Ursula, and Jane, and Master Boss. Is that a good? I think that is a good lineup.
I think so as well, based on our preferences.
Very well.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. It was very remiss of me. Were any of you injured at all in that last skirmish? I believe it was just Ziv.
Yeah, I think so.
Not that I'm aware of.
I wasn't injured.
Alright, Scott, can you just make me a quick plus 30 Medicaid check?
Yeah.
Presumably
I
you
have
healed him.
lost 5 hit points myself.
he helped as well.
Yep, so plus 30 Medicaid, you say?
Yeah. Actually,
Alright.
plus 50, fuck it. Because he'll assist. There you go, yeah. You consume
Okay,
one
30,
medikit,
yeah,
and because, you know what, it's been narrative time, you heal all your wounds back, Ziv.
Okay.
Can I heal mine as well in that time?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll say that all consumes one medikit, just to keep things neat.
Yeet.
Because you use that naturally.
Alright. Then, if we are ready, 1, 2, 3,
Got it,
breach.
actually.
Now,
Let's go.
I was testing out dynamic lighting because I have a plus membership now, but I turned it off because I figured I'll do it another time when I've had opportunity to test it.
I
So
can.
we're going to use the SCOG method of just colouring in the fog of war as you move.
The devil
I
you know.
can.
Oh,
I can
the
help
best
you.
way.
I mean, dynamic lighting works
Just works.
sometimes.
It just works.
No,
Sometimes.
correction. It works just.
Just.
We'll
Yes.
leave it for this session. In the next encounter, not the farm, but like the one leading up to, if you survive, I'll most likely need lighting as well. So I'll probably, the mines. So we'll probably test that out then, see how it works for that one.
Alright.
Okay, I will move you across to the other layer. Can you see yourselves at the top?
Yes.
And if I do this, does that reveal something? Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeet. Okay, could you all roll a soft initiative counter, please? I'll bring it up. There we go.
So be it.
You're still you're in sort of semi-narrative time for this as you move into a potentially hostile location.
Also, I can use the Auspex through about 80 centimeters of material.
Yeet.
Jesus, that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, also
Yeah.
that's a pretty dank.
Yeah, also it's a good quality one because of the armor.
Ursula hasn't rolled, that's the only one, I think.
I wish.
You have, yes.
It has
you...
rolled me
Oh,
twice
Ron
as
hasn't
Jane.
rolled. Yeah, Ron.
Yeah.
The worst
I
part is.
Give me a moment.
Sorry.
Skog, I think that's because you have Jane as.
It's appeared on the board correctly, so...
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's just because you use it in
Ah.
chat.
I rolled worse than
How
before.
appropriate, because this happened last time as well.
Yes. No, I rolled even worse this time.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's a nap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Skog,
this is a crit fail.
Skog, I think it's because you use Jane as the ass. in
Yeah.
chat.
I've got it set differently for each tab.
Okay.
Nah.
Now, we come to Voss's turn now. We're in a somewhat low lighting condition, but it's not impossible to see. However, Voss has Presense goggles, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
And I've got dark sight.
please make me an awareness check at +10. Yeet. As you look to the to your left, this is revealed. You see.
Oh.
I'll relay my I'll relay my feed to my teammates.
Now, to be fair, Ron can probably see as well because the Starties have like Dark Vision 2 for their specs. So Ron can just about pick it out, but everyone else is kind of squinting a bit. But their vision will hopefully soon come to focus. There is also a little bit of natural light just from the dying embers of the sun. There is a window there. Something of a table, coffee table almost, and a few sofas here. They look quite old and ragged. Time has not been kind to them. What's more concerning, however, are these two corpses.
That one dabbing.
Probably. It's an asset I bagged from somewhere.
Oh yeah, I maintain the blood god's contempt. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I'm just going to reveal a bit more from Ron's stuff as well. So there's a window there. And the hallway goes further down as well. Presumably
big ass farmhouse.
That is a set staircase that leads upstairs. Voss, what would you like to do? Anything in particular?
I'm gonna tap the others and indicate to where this thing is. Because one of those is a Krieger, looks things covered in his own blood, and the other one is something with a big fucking hole in its chest, like someone got hit with the Lucius pattern on the highest setting.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't realize Korn was a fan of antique furniture.
Right.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, until then, I'll just keep my wits about me. So if anything kicks off, it's getting fucking arrowed.
Cool. I'll just kind of like move you here just so you're spaced out a bit. So Ziv, anything particular you'd like to do?
Oh, we're still not so okay.
You don't have to worry about strict movement in this. You can just basically say, I want to dash over here, and I'll allow it, basically, because we're in quasi-narrative time, combat time, kind of thing, half and half.
Okay.
I'm just structuring what you're doing a little bit.
So, here then, so you can get a bit better view. Even though we can't really see it too much,
yep.
Try to see this.
Cool.
Just try to let it sink in.
Yeah,
see if you can glean anything from it.
Yeah.
You know?
Tell you what, you can all basically move around a little bit, but I'll just steadily come to your what you want to do specifically as time goes on. So Jane, anything Jane would like to do specifically?
No, I'm not sneezing. I'm going to basically set up ready with the heavy weapon I'm carrying, which I believe is either a stubber or an autocannon, depending on what the party had agreed on for equipment.
She had us the heavy.
2 different calibers might be an advantage. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Potentially she could take the other auto cannon that you found, but
that's kind of what I was thinking. But maybe ammo
I don't think Ron's
diversity.
taking it now at the moment, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
probably go the heavy stubber for now, just for.
She could potentially carry both, but it'll be heavy.
Nah.
Yeah.
One should be enough.
Yeah, I've left the autocannon at the Torox. I've just taken some rocks with me.
Okay, Ursula, I presume you're doing the same.
Yep.
Just the 2 buff ladies with fucking autocannons. Jesus. This is a weird image.
I mean, that whole
Vasquez, isn't it?
guy.
Yeah.
Like Overwatch. So you've got, Fields of Fire. Okay then.
Yeet.
Oh, show up. Anything in particular?
It's quite a large fucking barn.
Barns are fucking big.
It's not a barn, I should clarify. It is the farmhouse, the estate where they lived in.
Also, you need to remember this is a 40k farm, so they're dealing with quantities of grain we can't even fathom.
Oh yeah.
That is true.
Like spans of room the size of a planet, covered in wheat.
Oh, we're still operating on 2 meter squares. Okay.
We are, but you don't have to worry about strict movement at the moment because we're not technically in combat. So
What even is crop
Can I
rotation?
move over?
We can just move freely, right, Stu?
pretty much just don't go over the top with it. Don't go, I want to dash over here and like dash all the way around.
Can I go over to the corpses?
Yes, easily.
I am keeping a fucking eye on those corpses.
I'm keeping.
I'm
the
moving
bead.
over to the I am moving over to the corpses, but as I'm moving over to the corpses, I'll do a cognitions test to detect any psychic presence or warp bullshittery.
Okay. Make
get
it at
bonus?
+10. Okay. This corpse has been dead for a long time. You reckon a few decades, possibly.
Decades.
Mm-hmm. He very likely was a human. He, again, appears to have been dead quite a long time, and he's almost decayed. Like, you don't sense warp fuckery on him specifically, but you feel like the warp fuckery has almost just completely drained the body of most of its essence. But the weird thing is, it hasn't decayed into a skeleton yet. And you feel that maybe it's a residual effect from the warp energy that's around.
That is unnatural.
Noble's
I'll
type.
share. I'll share with the part. I'll share with the party that there's something rather unnatural about. I fear that sea warp might have a stronghold here. And as my last thing, if I can, I'd like to do a feathered focus power test to create a small bead of flame to serve as a torch.
Yep, you can create a bonfire from Dark Souls.
Just a floating bead of flame that just hovers
Bonfire
around you.
rekindled.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, forgive me, my eyes are fucking bleeding again. Not bleeding, but like, you know, where you get tears in them. It's like, ugh.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
Ye?
Yeah, you
They get
successfully.
dry,
Yeah, they dry out and then they get itchy. It's horrible. Yeah.
and then they try to ward themselves essentially.
Yeah. It's no good. Anyway, so you successfully create a nice pool of light. This area is pretty lit. It's pretty nice.
Anyway, that'll be the end of my turn.
On.
So, what's this?
That
This,
leads
over here.
further into the hallway.
Right.
Even
It's
with
actually
your helmet's visors lighting, it's a little bit tricky to peer deeper into it. As you get closer, though, it does become more clear.
Yeah, I shall move up there in a guarded stance
Okay.
and just try and scan the environment. Another corpse, I relate to the
You
party.
see 2 doors, the other side of you, and, as you point out, another corpse.
Right.
So, Hisco, if I can, I'd like to respond over fucking comms or whatever. Does it appear similar?
Yes. Also with a hole in its chest.
Strange.
Be careful, Ron. There might be one of my kind here.
Oh or worse.
Lovely.
Voss, anything in particular?
Okay, I'm just gonna move up and set up Overwatch, just in case anything kicks off.
Yeet. Ziv.
If Sue tries to look over here, can I like glean something from it? Is it just a wall or?
It is a wall, and there is a wooden door just there as well by the green.
Okay, the green is a door. He's gonna walk towards the door and just stand on like the side of it for a little bit.
Stack up
I'm
the
just
door.
gonna relay that.
Gentlemen, there seems to be doors in this hallway. We might want to be rather cautious as we check them out. There might not be life here, but there might be danger despite that.
Yeah, yeet. Jane and Ursula.
I'm gonna.
It's very convenient
Move.
you're both on practically the same turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna move both them forwards.
Yep.
Set up again.
Just
So
fucking
covering
leapfrog
both
like an
sides.
XCOM, yeah. Alright. Sure.
Professionalism. Home.
Yes.
Anything in particular?
I shall walk down the hallway.
Yeet.
And shall look to both doorways, and I shall set up on the other side of the one Civ is standing next.
Okay.
And then I shall wordlessly nod to Ron.
Oh,
You ready?
Right. I tell Voss to cover the other door just in case,
Okay.
and I inform the rest of the party that they should probably get ready for all hell to break loose. And I just move over here
I suspect as much.
and open the door.
the door swings open.
Do you open it or do you open it?
Who's here, damn it.
Well,
Because that
How
way I
would-
can cover that way and still get covered from this way.
ye- for now I shall cautiously open it.
Okay.
With your
We don't want to
massive
lose the
turn near
initiative.
gauntlet, you carefully turn the door. It swings open, revealing
Sneaky Terminator.
a room. It appears to be some kind of study.
You needed furniture still.
Yes.
I didn't want to disturb you, we're busy around cafe.
Also, it gives a
I
good
spent the last
indication
3
of height.
days playing Minecraft.
Hiding away.
I spent 14 hours before I stopped a few days ago, and that was to get food. I'm
Be
not
careful.
busy.
In the harbor.
It kind of has a
Catherine,
nice
be
aesthetic
careful.
though, like the coloured shape and bush shapes.
It gives a clear indication of height. It's just like a topographical map.
I guess I shall stand inside of the doorway and just
Survey.
peer around using
Yep.
it away.
Ron,
That-
stay careful. For all we know, there's pressure plates or something. Or worse, some warp contraption.
Warp trap. A warp trap just sounds like a Slaneshi trap.
Oh, God.
so
you-
a
you press it-
Slaneshi thing, yeah.
Do you want to
So
play
you
a
step
game?
on you step on a pressure plate and suddenly tentacles.
Oh no!
Oh no,
what's
this
that
is
game
modded
called?
Skyrim all over.
Oh no! Oh fucking lava slab up in here. Oh!
Oh no!
Estrus gang, gang.
XCOM give it to you.
Bear chug that Estus one. Okay, no. I guess you step forward and take another look in the room, maybe. Or do you want to just stand here and look at it?
I'll take a single step inside whilst having the guarded step.
Fortunately, there
Just
are no
in case.
traps, as far as you can see. There appears to be bookcase, side table, and something of a study, briefing city kind of room thing. So
Right.
it looks very, very dusty and old, but besides that, somewhat remarkable.
Might be some interesting books in here.
Sure.
I'll just relay what I see to the rest of the party.
Okay.
There don't seem to be any traps as far as I can see.
Okay.
That'll be it for my turn.
Boss.
Given that the room seems to be clear, I will. Should I move over to secure the next door?
That seems to be a good idea.
Yeah, we can move
Okay.
forward, so we can just go along.
Double check I can actually move that far. Yep, my run is exactly enough. And pistol ready.
Okay. Anything else, or you just securing the doorway?
That's a run. As a run action, all I've got left is the ready pistol. If that kicks off.
Hi. Civ.
Yeah, Civ is going to walk in to the study and just going to have a quick look around to see if there's anything interesting.
Okay.
Books are for nerds.
Oof.
Yes.
He's a nerd, right?
The
It's fine.
city has some potted plants that have long since withered away. A few fine
Are there
pieces
any-
of china and other ornamentals.
Okay, he's definitely going to admire the withering of the potted plants,
Ye-
but he's also going to try to see if there's any sort of bookshelf or
Yep,
books
the
or
green
anything.
one is bookshelf.
Okay, but are there any? This would be a table, right,
Yeah,
or desk? Are there any books on it
they are not.
or anything?
They are all on bookcase.
This- Okay. Are there any papers of that sort?
There are no papers.
It's completely clean, or?
The table, besides a thick coating of dust, is completely clear.
Well, doesn't seem like they've been reading a lot.
Out of interest, Civ is just going to try to look at the bookcase and see if there's anything interesting in it.
Make me
Does it smell like
a
mustard?
scrutiny check at +10. Presumably you're trying to look for anything interesting.
I think you
Yeah.
cut out when you said plus.
Yeah,
10,
plus-
+10.
Yes, sir.
Don't seem that interesting.
Yeah, it's even with a roll, even if it had been a good roll, there isn't really too much there, honestly. It's mostly just miscellaneous books on various topics. Yeah, like stuff any average person would have really in their household, as far as you can remember. It's hard to remember that
Okay.
back far being a guardsman from youth, but you remember your family having such things.
Yeah.
Jane and
If I
Ursula.
had succeeded, it would have been nice to see if there was a theme or something.
Yeah. Jane and
So,
Ursula.
party have moved further south, and I'm not just because I'm kind of zoomed in. There's only stuff to the left so far they've looked at.
Yeah, yeet.
Cool. I'm gonna come just in line with the doorway, keeping a fairly even spread.
Do you do like a
Because
3-point turn and just fucking... like,
That's right. It's more just the trying to deploy in a hurry of a heavy weapon is just faff.
It's very, very cancerous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Ursula doesn't need to do it, but just because she doesn't need to doesn't mean
Pretty
it's
sure
not
Jane
helpful.
has bulging biceps. I think I gave it to her.
Yeah, still.
Because I flavoured she
That
was,
whole I
working
get
out
to
in
spend the
mountain.
whole round aiming potentially.
So, my turn.
Yeah, yeet.
Right, I'll move over to the other door
Okay.
and just prepare to charge in, I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you letting Ron do it again?
Yeah.
Ron!
I trust he knows what to do.
I
Do you
shall
want
open
Mr.
the
X
door.
the door?
Yes.
Are you gonna smash this time or just open it?
No, I'm just gonna open it.
Door creaks open.
So,
Revealing.
unironically, I do believe when Mr. X actually is able to open the doors in the game, he actually opens them calm.
Yeah.
Appears to be something of a dining room. There's windows at the far end that have gone black with age. They're grimed up. There is a pretty nice looking dining table made out of decent wood.
No food, right?
Do I notice anything
No
out
food or
of place?
plates. Make me an awareness check.
Ye-
Hold on a minute.
Well, I'll take that as cue to go to the toilet.
Suppose that's right. I do believe we've gotten a viewer request. Want to see if true love can bloom on the battlefield. Who wants to take the lead?
Look at Ridgeless artwork for the last episodes.
Oof.
Our acid weapons are Sharia compliant.
Yeah. Ursula and
Versus
Jane are
Jane are
probably
not.
the closest we have.
More of a working relationship.
Oof.
I'm not a fan of that whole lol, my two characters are dating. Hoi 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 hoi.
Yeah, I can see that.
Seems. What's the word?
Degenerate.
Yeah.
I was going to say gay, but yeah, that works.
That too.
Well, the thing is, it could have been gay if it was two players, but it's just degenerate if it's just one.
Yeah.
What's wrong with homosexuality? It's gay.
Magnificent.
There's no less is gonna get here today. Be about an hour late, so. What was that for yesterday? I honestly don't remember anymore. This whole falling unconsciousness thing is good.
I don't think we've heard anything from Knowles today, but yesterday, yeah, it was kind of late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, also another reason why I thought it's probably good for him to pitch that, considering you might need to sleep.
No, I sleep too much is the current problem. I went to bed I fell asleep about 5 PM yesterday, woke up at 6 AM today.
Hey,
Jesus.
I was thinking maybe that was because of deprivation or something, but okay.
No, No, I'm just sleeping all the time.
Understood.
I think it's probably to do with the big dent I have in my rib cage.
Yeah, that might
You know.
be a reason.
Sorry about that. I was inconveniently called away for something. So,
No worries.
you look in the room, Ron, and there's no
What's wrong?
plates, no ornaments really. Just appears to be a thick layer of grime over all the furniture.
I think everyone dabbed away too, so you might need to check that back.
Alright.
Well, yeah.
Right, so
okay.
what's going on?
Ron is back.
You don't really see anything, Ron. There's pretty much just a thick layer of grime over the furniture. No ornaments, no plates, nothing particularly unusual about the room.
Alright, then I shall move back and set up over here. I suppose.
Is Voss back?
Yeah, I'm just making a sandwich.
Nice.
It's got crisps in it, so I didn't want to put it on the mic.
Ah, fair enough.
Back.
That is appropriate. I'll skip your turn for now. I'll just say you're going Overwatch.
No, I can have my turn. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
That was the reason why I was quiet.
oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. We've shut through all the rooms, these two rooms anyway, and nothing of just some grimy ass stuff. Have we actually investigated what the fuck the corpses are, other than just like they are dead old humans, like decades old corpses that are just mummified?
I don't think we have.
It could be worth exploring.
Yeah. we. Nice.
I
Some
love
fucking
that.
Oblivion level dialogue.
Seriously.
Could we maybe use Medicaid for that?
Okay, I'll tell you what. You know who'd be the
Background
if you're okay with it, Bill, I'll move on to Ziv, because Ziv, you seem like the kind of guy who'd want to go digging around dead bodies.
Go digging around in dead bodies?
Why not?
I suppose.
Kriegsman.
Sure, you can do it as well if you want to on this turn, this round.
Like,
We're thinking this one, right?
Yes, that's what I was going to suggest, but if you want to
Okay.
do that.
Why
I
not?
see dead body. Uncremated.
Let's
have a look.
Okay, you don't have Medicaid, do you? You can use
Civ
that,
can help
plus
with the
10.
Medicaid.
As Civ, you may make Medicaid plus 20.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Showa's not 100% sure other than the fact this guy died. For sure. Ziv, with your rudimentary knowledge of medicine, you deduce that this man died of either gunshots or blades. You're not quite too sure which. But
I'd like
fair.
to know what the big, where the big hole in his chest came from.
That is the R asset, so don't look at that.
Okay, so he wasn't killed by a gigantic laser beam, so we can at least discount that.
You don't think so, no.
Well, seems like he was either
You
shot
deduced
or
trauma killed
stabbed.
this guy a long time ago.
Okay, trauma.
As in,
Long time with this one as well.
yeah, combat trauma.
It's not like blunt force trauma, just like generally combat trauma, right?
Just like, you know, bullet wounds, lacerations, incisions, all that. It's hard to pin down which
Well.
exactly, but
Having to watch rom-coms, it's pretty traumatic.
yeah.
Right.
You two,
Seems to endure a
so
lot.
Ziv and Ursula. I think you
I believe this is something the Met calls. He died of cultural differences.
Do you want me to do a Medicaid on him?
You can if you like. Sure.
I'm
13%
pretty
of
sure
the
I'm the most
population.
trained medic. Rundle over. I'll have Jane set up on the other side of the room. Pretty sure Roll20 used to be able to remember different characters on different tabs.
Probably, but the times have changed for Roll20.
Updates are a bitch.
Yep.
There's that. Yep. Do I glean anything new?
You're fairly certain a gunshot killed this one rather than anything else, due to the diameter of the old wound.
Alright, so either big thick boy rondel or yeah, gunshot wound.
Yeah.
So it wasn't stabbed to death.
But it did take quite a bit of punishment.
Yeah.
Because it got stabbed and shot.
Yeah. Either they were very enduring, or somebody just really wanted to make sure they were dead.
Also, do they not have any clothes on?
That's just the asset. Their clothes have pretty much rotted away at this point. That's basically the implication.
Ah, so they have rotted away. Nurgle still holds power in this place.
It's so. That's the thing, though, isn't it? Their clothes have rotted away, but their skin and flesh haven't.
Yeah, that's.
Whatever's on these things, even the bloody bacteria don't want it.
And
I'm guessing it's Nurgle.
Nurgle still holds power here, but it seems something else has taken the actual people. Is it?
I would say that's the one who, that if things get stranger, then it is that, then it is that one tentacled fellow who holds power here.
Oh no.
I shall move over there and prepare a charge.
Okay.
Where's the warp witch when we need her?
Ron, before you do anything else, could you please make me a +30 awareness check for your specs?
Alright. Would heightened senses help?
Yeah,
yes, would heightened senses help?
Oh.
Alright, I'll take it into consideration on my end, because...
Alright, cool. Yeah, you just get +10, so...
I have it twice, for some reason.
Yeet. Not sure about that, but...
I do, because of
as you look at this door, you see a beep of a life sign that you saw earlier from directly behind you.
Behind me?
Yes.
Directly behind me?
Almost.
So somewhere over there?
Yes.
Then. Alright, I relay this to the party.
Shall we?
And yeah?
Perhaps we should clear before we find the true threat.
In any case, I shall, in a guarded stance, carefully move up over here, in case it wants to pop out. Actually, I shall get into a defensive stance.
Okay.
Over here, and then you guys can clear out this room over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Boss.
Okay, we go in for the breach.
Showa nods.
I'm
Get you ready.
Yeah, I want to keep my pistol ready, and if we are ready to breach, then I will nudge it open.
Okay. The door swings open, revealing.
Oh, excellent.
At the
The
core.
bleeder.
Yet another dead one.
You see,
Civ.
Yes.
No, hold.
Some large storage crates in the corners of the room, and
Storage.
a staircase that leads downwards, and also, more of note, another dead Krieger. Appears to have
Well, we found the Jenny.
appears to be lying on the floor, bled out.
Can still Voss's turn, so
Oh, I'll just keep a action ready just in case. Never know what's going to come charging up.
Okay,
in that
in that
case,
I'm
can
just gonna walk up here and just quickly check if there's anything, if you can glean that there's anything like traps of that sort.
Make a neutral awareness check.
So,
You do not spot any obvious traps of any kind in the doorframe.
Penis is well hidden.
Well,
Yes.
if I die, it's on me.
Thankfully, nothing
Tucking
seems to happen
plus
as you
20.
wanted to walk through the doorway.
Well then, seems safe. Come on in.
Yeah, yeet.
and that's more or less my turn.
Jane and Ursula, what would you like to do?
I'm assuming people are relaying what they can see as they go.
Yes.
Yes. Storage crates, stairs, a dead body.
I'm gonna move down to here, and I'm gonna have Jane stack up on the other angle.
Alright. Show up.
Move over to the other door. Prepare a charge.
Cool. Ron.
Ye- I shall, in a guarded stance, move up. Tell Ziv to get over here as well,
I think,
Sir?
like,
in case.
if you want to open it, if you want to open it now, I think we have, like, enough firepower. Focus on it.
You never know. Alright.
Always need more. At you ready?
I, yeet the door open.
The door opens. And a gunshot cracks out.
What in the world?
I prepared a charge. I charge.
It goes wide though, despite your bulk. And it plings off just next to the doorframe next to you. Showa charges in and sees
Right into cover.
Yep. Showa, you see, this appears to be a kitchen of some sorts.
A
There's
what?
some workbenches there. Work counters there.
Okay.
Something of a, what the fuck do they call those? Islands? Kitchen islands? Where you eat your breakfast
Yeah.
in the middle of
Yeah.
the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Island.
Wait a second, is that just a Kriegsman?
As you see the source of the gunshot, Showa, you and the rest of you who are in line side of the door see a somewhat injured-looking Kriegsman holding a bolt action that's smoking. He sees you, Showa, and Ron. Yeah, he basically then looks at Ron and his gun just collapses out of his hands. And he just starts breathing really heavily, like even more so than normal. Scheiße! Apologies.
Oh bother!
Calm. Calm yourself, mein friend.
Yeah. He gingerly tries to get himself up, but
Ooh.
his leg's a bit wobbly and unsteadily, and he kind of soon barrels over and kind of just pitches himself against the chair a bit. Still holding his rifle in one hand though, but it's like very loosely held at his side now.
Ah, we have a wounded one. Medic, come in. Cat, where are you?
Alright.
Are we sure that it's wise to offer medical assistance?
He is one of mine, so don't worry.
For all the Cadians I know, I wouldn't trust them as far as I can flick them.
Oof.
He is a Kriegsman.
Ursula, if you would like to
Yes.
attend to the injured man, please roll a Medicaid. If you wish to use one of your medic kits, roll a plus 30.
If he starts shouting, "Place the Emperor," then I'm
You have
going
just
to
done
run.
so, haven't you? Yeah.
Done initial diagnoses.
He appears
Without
to
medic-
have a nasty laceration across one of his left leg. Just
You're
please-
cutting out a lot for me, Stu.
He appears to have a laceration
That's going
across
for
his
leg?
left leg. Yep.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Showa is going to, if I can, if you allow it, then Showa is going to lean onto him and lean down towards him and see, do I recognize him?
You don't recognize him personally, but
is
he
it
does
clear that
definitely. He looks like a yeah, he's definitely a Volksgrenadier from the Legion, so to speak, one of the auxiliaries.
He looks like a he looks like a Chaos Volksgrenadier, then it's fine.
Yep, he's not a loyalist. No.
Do not worry yourself. Do not worry yourself, Nurglight. This is one of mine.
Very well. So be it.
So,
He basically, yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say, I was thinking of asking him a couple questions, but I wanted to see if anyone else wanted to do something first.
Presumably, Ursula, do you wish to treat the man?
Yeah, I guess treating him is gonna be relevant. Use the relevant medical supplies for that.
Yep, you can grab one of the medikits that you have on you and do your best to dress up his leg, clean it, and get it secure.
I will give Ursula mine, if that's alright.
Okay.
Alright.
Can I just try to look over him and see if there's any, like, similar wounds to the corpses that is seen with, like, the stab or gunshot wounds?
If you look similar to the corpses, you mean?
If the wounds look similar, or if he does have a knife or a gun that could fit the description.
Make a Medicate plus 20 as you watch Ursula treat him.
Alright. Do I need to roll again for the treatment? Or...
You just roll a plus 30, just give me an idea of how you do.
Alright. And it gives me a +2 on the heal checks. I think that's to the heal, as opposed
Yeah,
to
for
the,
Master Surgeon. Yep.
Yeah.
You patch him up. Very
I think I'll make it.
Yes. And he says, as you're doing it, thank you for that aid. Thought I was going to bleed out there for the moment.
Now, Private. What happens here? I assume you are among the patrols that were sent out here a while ago.
Yeah, sir. He sent out here a week ago the orders of the Legion. See if the farm is salvageable. But came in after disembarking Chimera, had a short trip here, few mutants, wild beasts, nothing we couldn't handle. Came into
And
the
what's in?
house and, well, don't know what to say here. bad stuff started happening. Stuff of the
How
void.
What do you mean? Was it mutants, chaos, space marines, or perhaps something more exotic? The warp?
I couldn't say how you remember back then when we served that corpse guard, yeah? When they brought us up on
Yeah.
Greek. Told us stories of the creatures in the night come for you when you're not, if you're not faithful. And you delve into things you shouldn't. You remember those tales, yeah?
Yeah. You could say I have experienced them.
Yeah, well, those are that was the best way I could describe them. They come out of the shadows when you're not looking, tearing up our men into pieces within seconds. Not only that, one of my men after a while died screaming. Still hears the screams. Poison, I think. I don't know. Fuck.
I understand, Private. Now, are you the only survivor?
Believe so, Herr. The only one who could have survived. Just give me a moment. Just gonna check a name very quickly. Sergeant Leff. You see, the other room across from here leads down to a basement where the power generator most likely is. Couldn't get in. The door is adamantine steel, very, very tough to break.
I see.
One of the privates like, oh yeah, use demolition charges, and we were like, no, fucking idiot, bring the whole bloody room down if you do that. Then whoever would be need an excavation team, yeah. I mean, we've got shovels, but fuck, that would take weeks. Maybe not weeks.
Yeah. This is not place for trenches, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd rather not see trenches.
Sergeant Verf, brave fuckers as he is, it's like, yeah, stay here. Go find some kind of, seems to have some kind of key card that unlocks it. He reckons it might be upstairs. I haven't found anything of the inhabitants yet, but others, those corpses you saw outside.
I see. So they have been here since you came here.
Yeah, we didn't think too much of them. We thought, fuck, they've rotted away. World used to be imperial a few decades back, so old farmers died. Who fuck cares? Yeah.
And you wouldn't happen to stab or shoot any of them just to ensure they were dead, did you?
No, not really. A couple of the stupid ones, poked at them a bit. Sergeant told them, stop that fucking waste of time.
Yeah.
Do you believe most of the stabs were on your end, then?
I couldn't say. We didn't look too closely at the bastards.
I do not believe that matters too much. They have been dead for centuries. Well, decades. It was difficult to say.
Yeah.
For all we know, this is a wretched place of the warp, where nothing makes sense.
Well, all I know is that since they are corpses outside that have not rotted for decades, potentially centuries. Again, it was hard to tell. But I must ask you, Private, have you been upstairs yet?
Not for a while. Me and Sergeant Leif, some of the other boys were upstairs for a brief moment, but came out of the shadows again, cutting a few of us down, so we retreated.
I see.
Sergeant.
I'll say over the... sorry.
No, it's fine. Carry on.
I'll say over the comms as this is going on that do not...
After some new knowledge, I say we should not be, we should never leave each other's sight. As in,
I will stay
always
this
two,
way.
all two people should always be together at all times. The Volkskrone here says that they come from the shadows.
They. Did he
I
say
do not
what
know.
they are?
They?
He says the only way he could describe them were think of the tales that the old nannies would tell you of things of what you see when you delve too deeply. That is all.
Excellent.
So, one last question, Private.
Yeah,
How long have you been here?
couple of days. I couldn't really move due to my leg. Tried patching it up, but it just got worse. So, figured I'd kill any of the fuckers if they came in here, you know, die a good death like they taught us.
Yeah, there's the Emperor might be a corpse, but I would say our home had a few good lessons on its way.
Yeah.
So see, look, and I'll look to fucking Ursula, and I'll ask, how does it seem? Will he live?
For a while.
Would one of you
I see.
join me? Checking out the crates.
Very well. Mein friend, here, lean on mine shoulder. I shall take you outside.
Yeet.
And from there, I guess I'll take him outside to the vehicles.
Yeah, you can pretty much deposit him outside, yep. Just drag him there. Do-do-do, It's pretty safe on the way there. You manage to get him outside. You sit him down safely somewhere, either in the Chimera or the Taurox, and poof. There we go.
And I guess now we can move the spotlight to someone else. I can bring in Snollus when he arrives.
Yeah, yeet. So, what would you guys like to do now that you reconvene?
Guess we should check
Well.
this area.
Yeah, the storage crates, I suppose.
Okay.
I believe there was mention of a key card somewhere upstairs. Or at least the suggestion of such.
There was indeed.
Yeah. And they
Maybe
didn't
worth going and having a look.
Would you like to try to crack this open for me? I don't trust my strength to be my strong side, so to say.
Yeah, well, we could check upstairs once we've cleared this area. Alright, I shall, open this. Warily.
Oof.
You may open the cover over the crate.
Yeet.
It appears to be grain yields that have long since rotted away. The smell is a little foul.
Can I keep them?
You may take a sample of it. There are a couple of flies buzzing around.
Excellent. I'll take some.
Eat.
I'll,
You have
move
rotten
up to the
grain
next crate.
pasta in a bag. Yes, they do bzzz everywhere.
And I shall open this one
Waste
as well.
resources. More grain.
Yep, more grain.
And I
Oh,
shall do
grain.
the same
Okay.
for this one.
It is indeed more of the same.
Yeet.
Please close the storage containers again.
What do you mean? You turn this into a temple for Nurgle.
I don't
Please
notice
close.
any of... I don't notice any of this because my suit is environmentally sealed.
Yes, that is true.
I feel like some of the more human people here are going to have some.
Also, would you like to shut the crates?
Room.
You know me
Hold
and your
hold
loyalty
up,
reactions to what?
What?
So
What's
up
we have
there?
a bunch of spoiled grain, correct?
Rotten,
Yep.
yes.
I don't.
Rotten
It's
grain.
alcohol.
No.
No. Do you know what fungus grows on spoiled grain?
I feel like we're about to find out.
Ergo. Ergo's hallucinogen.
Fancy.
I don't. He's been seeing things crawling out the shadows. We're seeing corpses with bullet holes.
That makes a lot of sense. Gentlemen,
Rebreathers on, boys.
show up. Well, I'll keep my sample. We might want to, actually, upon Voss's clarification. Showa, can you come over here?
Showa can come inside. I was going to wait for this, but fair enough.
As much as I hate to burn good rot, suppose it might
Hold
be
on, did you just say the word burn?
Someone say spices.
What Showa appears next to you.
Did I hear it?
You may immolate
Burn the
with
rods.
grain, if you wish.
Feel free to burn the rot.
At the sound of spices, I just kind of teleport behind Ziff.
Nice.
Did I hear? Did you require something burnt?
Oh,
Now, in character, Showa is going to burn this in a moment. But out of character, do you have any idea what happens when you burn rotten grain filled to the brim with fungi?
Oh no, we're going to make more hallucinogen.
Furthermore, when you have grain becoming it, basically turning to ash in an enclosed space.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Oh no.
It's like, Showa is going to do it in a moment. Yep, it's 10, 9,
Maybe not.
8,
I
7.
Close the
intervene.
container! Close the container!
I just closed the container.
I'm
Okay.
gonna- if he tries to do that, I'm going to throw a bit of wood at him. Just like,
just see- You just see
bang that in.
You just see Showa's eyes go from just like actively glowing to really disappointed.
I just give you a friendly pat on the back.
okay.
Fine.
Pick up the dead man's boot, yeet his head, fucking pack that shit in. Kill us all.
That was a close one.
Fine. I shall not. Fine. I shall not burn the grain.
I might have done a hasty judgment there. At least now I have some good rot.
You promised me burn. Where's
I
the
didn't promise
burn?
anything. I didn't promise anything.
Where
Let's just
is
say-
my fire?
Soon you'll probably get the opportunity.
When we leave, you can burn it. Okay? Then Nurgle won't even need this place. Besides, it's also already promised to come. Based on the corpses.
That's not how this works.
That's a very easy way to claim areas then.
Right. So
Put some corpses there.
upstairs.
That's how
Yeah.
Steve sees it. If this rots, belongs to Nurgle. If it's blood,
Fine,
Right.
Sin.
come.
Let's go. Let's go upstairs. I can find something to burn.
Please place yourselves near the staircase.
I mean, Sid's a simple man. It's his blood, it's corn. It's his raw, it's Nurgle.
But that's
What if you
literally
see
not
his
how it
brain?
works.
Is that corn?
I know.
Oh no.
I know that's not how this
Is this
works.
corn?
Civ doesn't.
Civ is such a retard, my god. It's so lovable.
Whoa.
It's
He's not
his
very
simple
bright, but he
understanding.
is very brave.
Well, he's right in some areas, but some he's just not bothered enough with.
Ooh, what's this?
Which also means he's very unknowledgeable.
Ye-
Put yourself in whatever marching order you like.
He really put all his eggs in certain baskets.
Same.
I'm trying to think about the kind of baskets involved.
Yeah.
They
Rotten
don't smell good.
baskets. Oh yeah. They don't smell good.
If you want to complete this side quest, I'm going to need 10,000 woven wooden baskets.
How about blankets?
Don't believe his lies.
Woo. Show us twice in the turn order.
What? No, it's because we can't see it, Stu.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's
Yeah.
disappeared? Mother.
Yeah, we
No,
can't-
no, we don't
when
see
you-
the people from the other screen.
Yeah, when you
Yeah,
switch maps,
Yeah,
we
turn
can't
order
see.
is-
Well,
Uh,
we can't see. We can't see the initiative of the characters that were on the former map.
How about we re-roll? Because I can
Yeah.
see this much for myself. Once I get up a flight of stairs, I'm pretty fucked.
Alright,
I
everyone
mean, we
reroll.
could just roll we could roll again. You copy down the old stats.
Yeah, that could
Yeah.
work actually.
Watch me roll.
I
well this
remember
time.
what my old stat was.
I rolled the best I ever had.
One was 3, Ursula was like 8 or 7. I think Jane was 7.
No.
Ursula was 8, Jane was 9.
Yeah, and Shaw was 7.
Jimmy Yeatman, get the right one.
Just need to add Jane in, I think we're good.
Yep.
Jane was 9. And I believe that's...
And I believe
Boom.
Voss was 17.
I got the same roll.
I'll do. Good enough. Okay. You, make your way up the creepy, dusty stairs. Find yourself in the upper floors of the estate. Once again, it's pretty dimly lit. It almost feels darker up here. Voss, how would you like to proceed?
Okay, just to check. What's with that wall to the south?
That appears to
Is
be
it-
another room.
Strip wall.
Yeah.
So I see where it is. I thought it. Yeah, that way is actually a route.
Just gonna reveal a slight. There you go. You can see an idea.
Yes, but that route to the north, is that a actual doorway or is it a window?
Those are windows. Those blue markings.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the window. Understood.
Oof, I just accidentally exited out of roll 20. Lovely.
Can I
So?
try to see if I see something out the window?
As you walk across the room, Ziv, the room itself becomes a bit more planar.
Oh, Jesus!
Dude, this is nice and thematic.
Well,
Appears to be
that
another
was...
mummified corpse, and another dead folks grenadier.
Oh, that's fun.
Hello, Nullus.
Expected.
Let's put Nullus on the initiative order.
Nullus, we're upstairs.
Nulla, you might want to come up here.
You need to fucking warn me that we're doing this shit like a day before.
I did it last night and this morning.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta remember that last night for you was this morning for me.
Oof.
Oofed.
I feel like at any time, just the music will turn into metal and just will get charged by an entire.
Right, let me
Now,
call it.
I feel like as we were walking upstairs, Nola just kind of came in the door and we just say, "Hi, join us."
Yep. He was listening into the comms and all that. Like, and he
I
just comes
found
up.
a very thematic theme, by the way, that just goes on and on and on. By the way,
All right.
this just continues. So keep
Okay.
it low, boys.
Tilde and Alice. There is a house full of like weird bodies.
Uh-huh.
We found a survivor.
Mhm.
That's it.
Wait, is somebody following Nola? Oh no.
So basically, what happened is we found a house. The weird bodies are weird because they look like they've been here for decades, but they haven't rotted yet.
Mhm.
We found
Yeah,
a
but-
room that's full of grain, and
Rotted brain.
which probably means we're hallucinating because rotted grain has hallucinogens to it.
Oh.
And the
Also,
survivor said he fought like shadows that were ripping his people apart.
And also
Oh.
the clothes seem to have rotted away. And the
The
bodies
clothes-
seem to have been killed by...
I mean, that's just because of the time.
Yeah,
So, but
It does
anyway, that
indicate
doesn't really
they've
matter.
been here for a while.
but it does indicate that it's the people themselves
Yeah.
who have some warpy stuff with them, not the general area necessarily.
Who knows?
Necessarily, I'm saying, not definitively.
By the way, this is the theme I use for Shadowrun.
Good shit.
Are there
Yeah,
actually
definitely.
turn orders right now? Given that I don't see any combat.
We're in a quasi-narrative combat time, so it's just to structure
Okay.
things if people get autistic, basically.
Was there a combat right about here? Or is
No.
this just there?
They're just
Alright.
dead.
They're just dead.
Ziv, incidentally, you don't really see much interest out the window. You, after rubbing the window down a bit from all the grime, you spot your two vehicles outside down below, and the rest is just the crops in the fields.
Okay. Well, seems everything outside is alright.
You two have kind of moved. So Ursula and Jade, would you like to do anything in particular?
Guess take points.
Yeah, might wanna be careful around this.
Just use me for cover.
Just twin link those autocannons on his shoulders.
Null and Ron, if you want to take the charge, perhaps.
Yeet.
Show anything particular.
Fuck that shit. Start getting up on the door. And I'm gonna prepare a charge, as usual.
In that case, it's just gonna walk down here. It's the opposite.
Alright, let's
Let's
Sit
get
over
this
here
bread,
first.
gamers.
yeet.
Gamers. So you want to breach this room first? Yep.
Yeah, I think I do.
And you just want to cover the other door. Civ. Cool.
Yeah, just make sure that, say if something tries to break out.
Voss, Jane,
it
and
won't.
Thingy. Ursula may move up as well if you wish, unless you're happy to hold position.
Actually, I'm just gonna stand in front of it and try to just make sure it's
I
safe.
open it in a guise.
Oh god, I've got that fucking awful thing where it desyncs my goddamn page. Hang on.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's horrible. Oof. Right, shows parent breach. Nollis, are you doing anything in particular?
I mean, I guess I'm aiming
Yeah.
at the door.
Okay, no worries. Ron, would you like to breach?
Yes, I would.
Are you just going to open it normally as well?
Well, seeing as I have a search warrant, no, I'm gonna kick it up.
FBI!
I'm not even going to make you roll for that. You just place your... basically, you tap your foot on the door and apply a bit of pressure and the door just caves in from the servos of your armor. Revealing
Fucking nothing.
a bedroom. There is a set of chests and drawers. A wardrobe. And a child-sized bed.
I relay this to the rest of the party.
I know the
That is a
token's a bit
big-ass
out of
child.
sync, but you know, like, it's more like an adult-sized bed, but you know.
Alright.
Well,
You see a couple of kids' toys scattered along the floor, but they're all grimy, much like everything else in this house so far. And covered in dust.
Alright, I shall carefully move in.
Yeet. Showa, could you please make me a Sinisians test?
Or no.
Did you just ask with that? At what? Could I get a modifier?
Plus 10.
Hey!
You don't sense anything directly warp fuckery in this room, but you get a faint psychic echo of children laughing and playing. And then a scream, just for a fleeting moment. And then you're abruptly back in reality from your scrying.
Showa is going to take a certain step back and shake his head.
Oof.
Well, that is not worrying at all.
Besides that, the room seems pretty normal as far as an old room goes. There's kids' clothing, kids' toys, a few books. Nothing out of the ordinary, really.
By the way, I feel like the track I've put on is like anxiety in as a song.
So lads, are you going to proceed or do you wish to investigate this anymore?
Could I use my Auspex to sort of check if there's anything, anything peculiar inside of this chest?
Sure. Make
Alright.
a plus 40 awareness.
Ye-
I'm going to continue just keeping up on Overwatch myself. And,
Give a good scan. Just appears to be a set of wooden chest or drawers. Some faint object readings inside, but they all seem to be shaped like, you know, lots of little bric-a-brac, clothing, a few toys. Nothing really particularly fancy.
Alright. No. And that'll be it. For me.
Ziv, anything particular?
No, he's just gonna look around the room.
It is a room.
Yeah. That was drawers, right?
Those were drawers. Wardrobe.
Okay. Wardrobe. And is it open?
Appears to be open.
Can you just have a quick look at it?
Sure.
It's not gonna like investigate it, just look over it for a little bit.
appears to be a nicely furnished wooden wardrobe.
Okay,
Bit
is
dusty.
there anything in it?
You gonna open the door?
Sure.
You open the door,
So
and
open the door.
the clothing is caked in dust and grime and other such things. You think you see a moth in the corner, but it doesn't pay you any mind.
Did you say moth?
Yes.
Not on my watch.
Ligma moth.
Look at that moth, brother.
Ooh, lad.
Sid is just going to just stare at it for a little bit, and then he's going to extend a finger towards it and just say, "Come here, little buddy."
The moth sees your hand.
Yeah, at the moth.
Yeah. And it flaps over and rests in the palm of your hand, looking very quizzically at you, but seems to almost understand you a little.
You're doing me a concern, Steve.
But he's a well, he has a connection to Nurgle somewhat, I suppose. Why
It does
not?
indeed.
Little friend.
And with it in his own palm, he's just gonna walk up to the
Civ confirmed Disney princess.
Moths are also drawn to flames, so he notices Gren as well. Seems kind of happy at Gren's presence.
Do I have a fucking moth flying around me now?
Well,
Hold on. I
it
haven't
buzzed
waited for
around
this.
you for a bit, but then returned to Ziv because it saw that you were getting agitated.
I have a video for this.
Oh, and Sid's just going to offer to like tip it on his shoulder,
Being like, oh, fuck
like
off.
like a parrot.
Okay, hey, we should breach this door.
Oh no! No!
Yeah, moth orders him aside.
Alright.
Unless you're going to be rolling Sinisians on the moth. Hold on.
Yep. Jane Ursula.
Probably wouldn't be a bad plan.
Jane Ursula,
Could
any
you-
change of plans?
Could you
I'm just
read
gonna
on this door
stack up
Just
near the door.
2 chicks, 2 guns. Oof. Alright. Show is stacking up. Noah, you just overwatched.
Before that, please. Let me do sanations on the moth.
Oh my.
Go ahead. Make a neutral test.
Yeah, modify.
No, it's
Neutral.
neutral.
Turns out the moth was the antagonist all along.
The moth is mostly just a normal moth, but the warp fuckery of this area, the warp taint, seems to have made it a bit more perceptive than most moths, and it seems to understand the concept of followers of chaos. So,
What if it's just a great unclean one in disguise?
You're still doing me a concern here.
Excellent. He'll be a good friend.
it doesn't seem to have much sentience, but has a little bit more, you know, his nogging's a bit more jogging than a regular moth.
His noggin's a bit more.
He's jogging.
It's a very athletic moth.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Anyway, are we doing a breach?
Yeah,
Yep.
Nulla, are you just overwatching the door like XCOM style?
Mm.
Ron, X gonna give it to you.
Alright. I shall kick open the door, and before I do that, I knock on it as such. Should have deleted your browser history.
Okay. Unfortunate choice of words considering the context of which room you're about to enter.
Oh
The
no.
door is kicked open, revealing a bathroom.
Of course.
Oh
There it
no.
is. There's the rig floating in
This
the
is where they
bar.
kept the lollies.
Someone died here.
Ah, I see. So that's where the toaster went.
That's high level detective work. Someone died here. What makes you say that? Well, their PC is floating in the bath.
Someone has died.
Someone killed them, but someone who liked them killed them.
Do you proceed through the doorway?
Yes.
The room gets a little
I've
colder,
seen
you
it.
notice, through your suit.
I played Eternal Darkness. I'm going to ease my headphones up my skull just in case Stu gets any funny ideas with.
Oof.
I
No,
shall
I
relay
would
this
never do
particular piece of
noise.
information to the rest
No-
of the party.
Do noise screams or just cancer, like, fuck.
Yeah, I know, right?
I know, but after playing Eternal Darkness, you just get innately fucking worried about
Jump
bathrooms.
scares. Yeah. Ron, you proceed and you notice a shower,
Whoa.
a sink, a mirror and cabinet, a hot tub, and a bath.
Alright. Well, what I shall do is prepare an action for an all-out attack. Right behind me, just in case, and I shall walk up to the mirror. And I shall look at the mirror. Do I notice anything?
Roll me an awareness at +20.
Plus what?
+20.
Is that from the Auspex?
No.
Show and arrows.
Alright. Is it,
This is
sight or
purely
s-
through sight as you peer into the mirror.
Alright.
You stare into the mirror for a few seconds, not really too sure what to expect. And then, just behind you, you see a shape bamf into
Yes.
existence.
Oh no.
I fucking knew it. Yeet! All out attack, baby!
Hey Ron, you finding that?
Because I prepared for this.
And I always prepare a charge, so fuck you.
You should have never come here.
Never should have come here.
Iron kills ghosts, right? As I poke my nail gun around the corner.
Halt! You have violated the law.
So, you bring your blade swinging down, and then... poof! The shape's not there.
Knew it.
Can CIA.
Right.
Showa, roll me a Sinisians test at +20.
Getting close to its last breath.
Oof. Gotta find the... There's been a
Neutral?
murder!
Was it neutral?
+20.
I see.
There was some kind of warp creature there just a minute ago, but it went incorporeal very quickly once the blade was swung round at it. You're not too sure what, because it was very, very quick. But the mirror seems to have brought it out for a second as, well, Ron's
I
energy
can
is
see.
some strong. Despite not being a psyker, Ron kind of brings out a certain allure to some of the warp beasts he sees.
Been around for a
Violet.
while.
Yeah.
The violent winds are upon us. Don't sleep.
Would you like to investigate anything else in the bathroom?
I'll
The
make an
bathtub.
awareness test.
Okay.
No. Let's not be too quick.
I see nothing.
If you're going at the same place as I.
I know.
You don't quite see nothing as you're kind of looking around and
I don't trust
thinking,
this.
there's nothing much here besides the spooky ghost. Something is revealed in the bathtub.
What? Is it a razor?
Hold on. There we go.
Well, the critics
Oh, it's rubber.
There was a rubber ducky.
It's worse. It's worse than we could have imagined.
Hold on. I want to boop its snoot.
Do not
God.
boop the snoot.
Okay, whenever my drivers crash, it really fucks with Roll20. It looks like reality's being unmade around me.
Oh no.
But the
But do you see
single
the rubber duck? That's the important thing.
Yes, I did see the rubber duck.
Ron, do not boop its snoot.
Just a single tap.
Step away from that very suicide bomber.
Ron, we
Stares
just had a
intently.
ghost. Ron, we just had a ghost. Do not boop the snoot.
Just put a single touch on its little noggin.
Ron.
Whoa. When the RP gets too realistic, yeah, pretty much.
If I die, it's fine.
So he boops its
You boop its nose. Nothing here appears to happen.
And you take 10d10 of damage.
You take D20 insanity points. No. You can't even take insanity in this game, really. So.
The duck of insight.
Because we're hard locked at 100 by default.
Yeah, you can get disorders, mental disorders, if you fuck up a fear test badly enough, but... Yeah.
You have touched the DMT duck.
If you stuff that duck far enough up your asshole, you might get a mental disorder, basically.
Okay, would you like to proceed from this room?
Yeah.
I think it's Voss's turn, so...
Yeah.
Also, if it has any psychic effect or warp-like effect, it should be... I should be able to roll to resist that using the Blood God's Contempt.
Alright.
Just putting it out there.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I believe
Just gonna
Voss
play
is
casual and keep my weapons ready.
I want to take the duck with me.
fucking casuals. So... just as you get to this next door, Voss, make me an awareness check at plus 40.
Oh, I knew so this would happen.
Don't roll 100. Oof, that was nearly a crit success.
I see.
Experience tranquility.
Voss, as you
Remember
get
that
more
moment?
on edge due to the weird things that are going on, there are two things you notice. First, you notice this door in particular, as opposed to all the other doors you see, seems to have a slight coating of frost underneath it.
What in the what?
Looks like we got an epicenter, boys.
And also, as you come closer to the end of the hallway, you see this.
What?
It appears,
What is this?
it's very hard to make out, it's quite badly damaged and dusty, but it appears to be a painting.
Oh no.
Nope, nope, nope,
What
nope,
is
nope.
this?
We're leaving this place and burning it down.
Yeah. Fulgrim, is that you?
What
I
is the painting
prepare spontaneous.
To burn the painting. Okay. Would any of you like to look at the painting? You don't have to go up to it, you can just
I'll
look at
do.
it.
Fuck
Sit
no.
well. Do it.
No. Sure,
I'll do
will
it.
push you out of the way.
Whoa!
Sim is going to do it.
I'll look at the painting.
He's going to do
Oh
it.
no!
Sure,
Every-
pushes you out of the way.
No,
No,
I'm
I've had
looking,
it with this.
I will
I've
not
had
allow
this
this.
case of Charles Dexter Ward shit.
I'm looking at the painting.
Will you fucking let me do this?
No, I'm looking at the
I want
painting.
to look at the damn
I'm
painting.
doing sign missions, you cunt.
I'm looking at the painting.
Stop looking at the painting.
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I'm covering his eyes.
You're not tall enough to cover my eyes.
Sim
I'm
is going
using
to
the
look at the
arrow to
painting.
cover your eye.
Sim is looking at the painting.
Okay, right. Let's break this down. Right.
I create smoke. Fuck off.
I blow it away.
Right, stop.
Let's see what we can do.
Ziv and Allah approach painting for a bit, and Showa follows them. And he casts his power, but they do get, and which obscures the painting area around them in a nice thick smog of smoke, which is flavoured however you like. It could be any colour, whatever density you want, basically.
It's just black.
Yeah.
Dense enough to block sight.
Cool. Voss actually does get a glimpse of the painting, though, because he rolled very well beforehand, and so do Ziv and Pasta.
Congrats.
The painting
I didn't want to see it.
appears to depict a dark-haired gentleman. Voss, could you make me a common lore war check?
I can indeed.
At plus 20.
Can so do the
You
same.
better.
The gentleman appears to be wearing the attire of a Cadian dress uniform.
Can several roll as well?
There is a woman by his side, a red-haired woman, wearing a very fine robe and a few jewels. She's somewhat modestly dressed, not over the top, but she's somewhat nice looking. She dresses well. And below them, with hands on each of their shoulders, are two young boys. Both of a sort of darkish hair. Some of their hair kind of is a bit lighter due to the mother's genetics, shall we say. And they're wearing nicely pressed clothing. The weird thing about the painting, though, is there seems to be a lot of sort of scratches and scorch marks, and just dust and grime and wear and tear over the years. The children's and the gentleman's features appear quite blurred. The woman's features, however, seem to be as clean as the painting the day it was made. Besides that, there's not particularly much to know about the painting. And
Fine.
you process this information, and then shortly after that, Showa conjures up smoke, and it's hidden from your sight.
And I will say that he does this because warp fuckery, paintings, demons. He's a psyker. Don't look at paintings in warp fucky areas. He uses finer words, but I can't quite come up with the words he would use in this moment.
Stop looking at the fucking painting!
Probably that. This is a very bad idea for all of you. Go away from the painting.
I am going to go take a piss. I'll be back in a moment.
From it.
I'm going to take this opportunity to go get a cup of tea, as is tradition of all fat Anglos.
Can any of you
Unless
see
you can't
what
go
it
into
is
the paint.
of? What is...
Da 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 da.
Can any of you tell me what this is? What even is this?
Well, it looks like a family photo, Ziv.
Yeah, it sees a family, but who are these people?
I'd
See,
imagine the
uniform?
residents of this house.
I reckon it's the original owners.
Given that they had a kid and there's a kid's bedroom.
Well, they had two
Certainly.
kids.
Of course it's a family, but who
So-
were these people?
So, when you guys were coming in here, did you happen to find any child-sized corpses?
No.
Okay.
Come on, my
Nine.
picker.
Well, when Stu comes back, I'll do a cognitions test on the painting.
granted, there's probably room for child corpses all around this place. It's
Yay.
making me uneasy. Whole place.
That was one hell of a situation there, though.
Yeah, that got
I wanna
really
look at the
autistic really
painting.
quickly.
I want
Almost
to look
like
at the painting.
everyone tried to PvP.
No PvP, but Civ is gonna try to
It
look
wasn't
at that painting.
PvP. It wasn't PvP. It was in disagreement.
Condensed in like 10 seconds, which would normally take a minute.
But Civ is still very interested in finding out what the heck is on, who the
Buddy,
painting is of. So it's
In
just
the
gonna
end,
keep
it all worked
asking
out
around.
great.
Boss,
Yeah,
you
you
know
get
these
the
things.
process.
Did you find out anything? Nulla? Anyone?
Well,
Right,
it's a
it's people.
painting, and it's got some people on it, and it looks like a family. That's
Of
pretty.
course
That's
it's-
all we know, man. Like,
Sure, true.
and it's a shitty painting, but apparently the wife it doesn't look so shitty.
Apparently, it's probably warp infected or something. I suppose. For all we know, maybe it's a psycho.
Cannot tell if my thought sense is tingling.
What?
Do you have common lore thoughterry?
I think it's an innate skill.
I think it's forbidden lore.
I have forbidden law demonology.
The fact that
That's
the
the word.
painting is only seemingly corrupted in one area, at least, visually, is troubling. The fact that that one area seems to have not faded with age is,
Weird. And what does weird shit normally indicate in the 40k universe?
Poopy ghosts, my dude.
I return. I presume Bill's still AFK.
Actually, can
Yeah, he's kind of pulling a Sargon.
Oh, right, that's fine.
Try
I did as
to
well,
look-
to be fair. I've got some tea.
I was just gonna ask if I can do a cognitions test on the painting.
Sure.
in the meanwhile, can Civ also try to just figure out what the painting is of?
Do I get a bonus on a
Whoa.
cognition test?
Plus 20.
I was thinking more, yeah.
The painting itself
Yeah, can I? Sorry.
is not a warp tainted at all. But as you know, as a man who's delved into the mysteries of the warp, been around a little
Friend
while,
itself.
you know that imagery can be powerful. And can
Yes.
sometimes reflect things. Beyond that, you're not too sure what this means, but there's definitely, the painting does seem to reflect something.
Well, since I'm
It
the
in of
psycho,
itself
I'm
doesn't seem particularly dangerous, though.
Because I'm the psycho and not afraid of losing my soul, I'm going to study the woman a bit more.
Yeah.
How does she
Okay.
look? Is she young? Pretty? Hair color? Stuff like
Yeah, she has a reddish hair.
that?
She is rather pretty by most conventional standards. She looks quite young. Beyond that... Wait, what's going on?
Civ is going to try to look at the painting again.
Okay.
He's not giving up.
God damn it.
Can I try, like, lore check maybe Imperium
Yes.
instead of war? Sir.
Plus 10.
Plus 10.
Appears to be a commission painting for a... somewhat... You would say this would be something you'd give a middle-class family in Imperial society.
Middle class family.
It's moderately budgeted. It's nothing that noblemen or any fancy governors would have, but it'd be a lot
20%.
grander and larger if that was the case. But it's respectable enough portrait.
So we're not dealing with the 1%. We're dealing with the 10%.
Yes. I mean,
To be fair, 10% of the
you would
entire
infer that
imperial-
a family could who owns a whole agri farm would have a somewhat reasonable income. You also surmise that guard veterans often retire on such worlds.
Yeah, because they actually survived.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems that guy is a veteran of Cadia.
Does it seem like Civ can determine that he's from Cadia?
Yes, quite
Good
easily.
man,
Voss very easily picked up on, and so do you as a former guardsman.
Yeah, and as a Cadian.
Yes. You recognise the purple eyes he has as well.
Oh.
Pretty much nearly all Cadians have purple irises. It's a quirk of being close to the Eye of Terror. Natives of Cadia have it.
So yeah. The woman just looks... How does she look?
It's kind of hard to say. As I said, she just... The most striking thing about her, honestly, is the fact that her portion of the painting is very clean and bright. Everything else is kind of faded away through time and wear. Which is a little odd.
I think what remains here might be the psychic essence of that lady.
It's just going to back away.
And as Shaw is done looking at the painting, she's going to turn around and say, I apologize for my outburst, but here's the thing. In the warp, imagery is a very, very powerful thing. And paintings like this are often tools of my kin to, well, do some quite horrible things. I desired to make sure that if any of you were to look upon it, you would not lose your soul.
So be it.
So next time we are in a place saturated with the warp, please allow me to see if I can somehow disarm the situation should there be one. Is that all right?
That's fair enough.
Yep. Right. So
Back with my tea. What did I miss?
not much.
You
Is there any way we could find out the name of the lord and lady who occupied this house? This is important.
There is a name scrawled at the bottom of the painting. It says...
Alright.
The Lochan family.
Alright.
So, would the party like to do anything else?
I would like to prepare an action to, whenever I notice anything coming behind me, to perform a standard attack and call out that name whilst doing.
You wait a few seconds, like full round, and nothing appears to happen.
Well,
Alright.
I suppose we should clear these last two rooms then.
I motion to the thick rime of frost on the door next to me. I think we got our epicenter, boys.
Should we clear the room behind it beforehand? Just so we don't have to worry about it.
Sounds like a plan, but we want to keep someone. Just keep an eye on this one.
I
I
can
suggest
keep
our heavies keep a good close eye on it.
Got both sides covered. Don't worry.
I shall also
Move
stay
down the
here.
room, but you don't want us near the painting.
I shall also stay here to make sure that to keep the frost where it is.
Oh yeah, as soon as I see that creature again, I would like to call out the family name as a prepared action.
Okay.
So the rest of you go over to the other door.
So be it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna bust open this door real quick.
I'm just gonna bust a nut.
Oh no.
Bust a nut in this door real quick.
Ron, I think they need you over on the other side.
Shall
Knock,
I?
knock,
If I
open.
Double
have
take down
problems
the
with
door.
Yes.
Shall I-
Run around the upper sections of the building, just
Lads.
furiously jerking off and running about.
No,
So,
no.
if I see
Lads.
child corpses in there, I'm gonna
It's like
burn them with
GTA
the
5.
multigun.
So, sorry, no, I just think this is funny, lads. Do the Resident Evil thing and just double take down the door of your co-op
Oh,
partner
yes.
to Uber
Alright.
Yeet.
Okay. The room is revealed as you. The door just bursts into pieces as two Astartes kick it down, revealing another child's bedroom.
FBI, open up.
This bed is even larger.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
Yeah, because I'm an
Oh,
autist
that's
and
great.
don't, censor things up exactly. Thankfully, I don't have too
What's
much
your
OCD, so.
Do I see
your
anything
prediction?
out of the ordinary in compared to the bedroom that we had already seen?
Not
Well,
really. As you surmise from the
How's your deal?
painting, they were both two boys. They have, somewhat similar interests in toys and so forth, so it's very similar to the first one.
What was that,
approximately
Skog?
14-meter long bed.
Just ignore that, it's a placeholder asset.
They are nobles, they're allowed to have large beds.
Bourgeoisie, motherfucker.
Ogren kids.
Middle class.
Alright, yeah,
Upper class Ogrins.
let's get the spooky door now, I guess.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeet.
so be it.
Before we leave, I'll have one last glance around the room with the optics on,
Guarded stance.
just in case.
Alright. Besides the Rime of Frost, you don't see anything else particularly interesting.
So, you cut out. Could you repeat that, Stu?
Besides the Rime of Frost, sorry for the pun, you don't see much else interesting in your immediate surroundings.
Alright. You guys ready?
Yeet.
Are you ready,
Yes.
sir?
Then
Indeed.
I shall open the door by punching it with the chain fist.
Let's hear it. Math style.
Knock, knock, FBI.
Let's be subtle about this one.
I'm assuming this is going to be the parents' room, and there is presumably going to be something in here. This is a very large, spooky house with nothing in it.
Maybe it's just a really big refrigerator.
You know me better than that.
Yeah, we trust you not to make an extended reference to the Red Room, of all things.
Oh yeah, guys. I know there was no boss fight, but this is my arcade. Don't, please no bully.
I'm an H.G. Wells fan, don't judge me.
My OC,
Where's
please
the
don't steal.
living corpses?
Where's the Cthulhu monster? I was wondering a Cthulhu
Oh, yeah. We should have one person on rear guard duty.
I mean, you've
You
got two
probably have
auto
to put
cannons behind you, so...
Yeah, that's
Alright.
Any ghost that will get past us will be immediately blown through the opposite wall. Even if it doesn't kill him, it'll give it something to think about.
Well, I hope
When
so.
you tell me I can't be near the spooky painting, I have to improvise.
I would suggest that you take a step through the door, given that you cannot see too far through.
Chungus.
Well, first I would like to roll an awareness check.
I love
Can't go
this.
near the
I
spooky
adore
painting,
this.
can't eat the
He's the
cheese.
hardest motherfucker within a like many kilometers radius of maybe this whole planet, besides the Iron Warriors, and he's I need awareness
Wait.
before it.
Well, he's found something he can't punch to death, so
Yeah.
he's worried.
Yeah.
I am very cautious.
Make out a
Even though
plus
I-
40 if you're all specs.
I just love the concept of, okay, there's a spooky room, get out the mobile phone app that does motion tracking.
Okay, you nearly crit succeeded there. There are no life signs in the room, and nothing of particular interest. But you do see some liquid on the left corner of the room. It appears to be blood.
Wait, can he see inside the room while the rest of us?
No, as
can't,
all
by the
specs
way?
can detect like substances and
Oh,
shit.
right,
You
right.
can format
Allspice.
all specs to do a lot of weird things like that.
He's got them scanners, boy.
He's
He's
Star
got a
Trek
full
the
map.
shit out of this. He's
Oh yeah, I'm using this shit. Right, I guess I shall take a wary step inside whilst I'm in a guarded stance.
The room is revealed.
Make sure somebody follow him, just in case.
Even
The
bigger bed.
Quicksman might have been bullshitting us, but I won't leave that up to chance.
Right.
So,
I still love saying, like, your Auspex finds no life signs in the room. Don't stop being fucking cute, Stu. We know this place is full of fucking spooky ghosts.
Just saw one.
Oh yeah, I still have that prepared action in case I notice anything behind.
okay,
Okay.
Right.
There's
there is.
there's some dead nigga.
As you
Somebody
enter,
else
Ron.
going to
He's
follow him,
big.
or should I?
Forgive
Yes.
me, that was just me.
Oh, jeez.
There you go. I overdid that one a bit. But
Chungus Kriegsman.
yeah.
Mega Creek.
That was mainly for reference when I was drawing in the assets. I forgot to decrease some. It was the same with the other guy. Right.
Right.
Just put like... fuck it. Right. Anyway. There is a bed. Chest of drawers. Wardrobe. But fuck all that. What you want to see is... There is a slumped Kriegsman over by the thing. Your Auspex reading deciphers that he is deceased. There's no warmth or anything emanating from him. Interestingly, though, you pick up a heat signature on the floor near him.
Concern.
It appears
Right.
to come from a plasma pistol. Still seems to be a little warm.
Died recently then.
Yeah.
Right. I shall relay my sightings to the rest of the party.
I think it was a suicide.
Question
Well,
is,
what
You know about the
Plasma
Clintons.
gun
that
is.
was.
What did he?
He appears to have... Well, I'll let you know once you want to venture in and see what's up. One final thing, Ron. There appear to be 3 piles of ash next to the man.
He was busy.
Yeah. Seems like he shot those with this plasma pistol and then got yeeted.
Well, does anyone want to roll a Medicaid check on the guy?
I don't know.
On
Oh,
the,
players are looking,
on
fellas.
him or the ash?
Guess.
Got another
Clear
dead
as-
Krieger.
As clear as any haunted house can be.
Fuck it, why not? I'll roll a Medicaid check.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too. Just, I mean, cause.
Just standard?
Just
it was a
plus
suicide.
10. Yeah,
Oh,
that's more than
okay.
sufficient. So, he once again appears to almost a similar fate to what your fellow downstairs may have suffered. He appears to have bled out over time. Hemorrhage. He has some really nasty cuts along his torso. But Oh, before he appears to have fired off his plasma pistol a couple times. You also see in his left hand he's clutching a power dagger. A very nice looking dagger, which appears to be coated in something. It appears to be some kind of black liquid.
I would like to use my foot to just kind of kick the plasma pistol away from the dead creature.
Yep, it clatters away and he eats it away from his dead hands.
Alright. You lads want to do anything?
Stu, is this wardrobe? This is a wardrobe, right?
It is indeed.
Alright. I'm gonna draw my Mace of Malag Ball and have it at the ready.
Yeah.
And open it up.
You open the drawer. And besides a few miscellaneous papers, utilities, office supplies, personal effects, things shit like that. A few folded clothes. There is it appears to be some kind of book or possibly a diary.
I'd like to motion to Mr. Warpfuckery to take a look at this.
Meanwhile, Civ is going to look through the chests.
Yep.
I'll take the book.
Okay, Gren, I'm
probably
going
show us the
to...
book first.
Gren, I'm going to give you access to a handout note.
Oh shit.
Which is in the handout notes of the journal. Drop down. Before you do anything with that, please, I'll do Ziv's thing. Ziv, do you want to just open the drawer?
Yeah, just open up the... Yeah.
You
Well,
open
the
up
chests are
and there are a bunch of adult-sized clothing inside, a little dusty and worn with age. No more moths, I'm afraid, this time.
Well, in that case, just gonna close it and walk away.
Okay.
Before I read it, I'll do a citations test.
Of course.
Do I get a bonus?
Plus 20. The diary does not appear to have any significant warp taint on it. However, you feel a sense of foreboding about it, but also knowledge. It's one of those weird intricacies of the warp. Sometimes the warp you can glean, as you know from your time as a psyker, you can divine things from the warp, see, foretell things.
Yeah.
So, it seems important.
He sure turns it around in his hand a few times until I assume there's nothing on the outside, or is the name on the outside?
It says Margreta Lorchen on the first cover of it, etched into it.
Very well. I shall read this out loud. I open up the book. It's a diary.
It is indeed a diary.
Let's see, the 9th. The 9th month is... fuck, I've forgotten.
Do you want me to just tell you what that is? Right, so that is the 18th of the 9th month in the year 960, millennium 41.
Yeah. I just forgotten what the 9th month of the year is.
The Imperial dating system's a bit fuckery. It doesn't even have
True.
It doesn't even.
True. It's just the 9th month.
Usually, it doesn't
Yeah,
even list the month and date, but in this case, it does because it's a personal diary rather than an administratum document.
Yep. So he'll start reading. 18 of the ninth month, year 960, millennium 41. Well, another morning, and the harvest season is almost upon us, praise the Emperor. The boys, darlings that they are, were getting to be a pain. Only so much for them to do around the house. Valdred, my love, tries to keep them busy, with hunts and trips to Araxis Prime. But the roads have been troublesome lately, with bandits and damned mutants. The governor and the Emperor, forgive me for the slight, seems incapable of dealing with them. You would think that agri-production would be important out here on the fringe. However, I am but his humble servant, and I shall pray to our most holy Emperor that we can safely transport our yield when the time comes. Until then, I but to see that the boys are up and about. The Emperor protects.
Could I
The next following pages seems a bit burnt. Let me see. Here we go. 27th of the 9th month of year 960, 41st millennium. So the winds seem to have picked up today, and Valdred has not returned yet. I have the boys safe inside, and our 4 farmhands and servitors are keeping watch downstairs. My love Valdred returns, but he says that the roads are still treacherous, and all we can do for now is stay safe inside and pray for deliverance. The page seems a bit faded here. Here we go. O Emperor, by your golden light from Holy Terra. Sure, spits a bit as at that part. Please deliver us from these vile raiders. They attack when the dust wind started to settle in the evening. Valdred believes they may be watching the farm for a time, waiting for the moment to approach. The boys are safe for now in their rooms, and Valdred is directing our farmhands downstairs for the defense. I stand here with my love's old lastlock in hand, and with faith in my heart. By his grace, none of these foul beasts shall touch my children. Was the Emperor. There's so much faded pages here, and this has the smell of blood.
whose diary was this?
This is Margaret Loken, I do believe that might be the woman downstairs. It's a woman in the painting, I'm sorry. Let's see. Here it continues. Oh, good Emperor, what's happened? I lie here in the basement, in the southwest corner storage, I think. Last thing I remember was firing at them on the stairs. I killed one, I believe, and sent darkness. Emperor, please protect mine babies. Oddmar and Weigel, and my love Valdred. Wait, I hear something. And then, no, they killed him. And mine boys, they fed them, and they just laughed. I will find them and feed them. Is it hold on for a moment. There's a lot of destroyed pages here. Hold. There's so much blood in this. Here it go. They came for me and took me away. I bled them dry. I took the old scythe, and then the harvest began. They were all fed to the machine, and now I shall find the rest of them and bleed them. Whomever finds this diary, know this. There is no emperor. There is only blood and death.
This seems like a woman after mine own heart.
Since my character has spent a lot of time dealing with chaos, could I roll a knowledge demonology check to see if I recognize the number 9?
9.
Sure.
Alright.
I know what.
Yep.
I
But
sincerely hope
in
she's
character, I'm not sure
Yep.
if I do. Let's see. Do I get a modifier to that?
Plus 10.
Nope.
You try and go through your old studies as an Astartes, but you're not quite sure if there's any significance to the number.
Alright.
Would Forbidden Lore Psychers work here?
Yes.
Do I get a bonus?
Plus 20.
Also, don't think I didn't notice that you giggled to yourself slightly because you, upon hearing the name The Machine, because you thought the Bert Kirshner routine. Fucking calling
No.
you out.
No. That's not the reason.
You try and think for a moment if there's any significance to the numbers and the dates, but nothing really comes up to your mind.
Alright.
So,
Now,
well,
Gren, as you close the diary, well, as you get to the last pages, I should say, sorry, you notice something at the back of it, on the last page, tucked away. There is a blue key card that falls out into your hands.
look here. It seems we've found our way.
Lovely.
It seems the Massa Mountains do give back what they seek.
Well, let's not waste too much time
Hold.
then and head
Hold.
to the basement.
Hold.
Yeet.
What?
Just put yourselves there for a moment.
Alright.
After a moment, as you hold the card in your hands, could all of you roll a toughness test?
Oh no.
That's my specialty.
Is this a psychic ability, Stu?
That is for me to know. Roll the test, I will
That's
account
the
for
one.
whatever bullshit you have,
Alright.
don't worry.
Alright, because I have plus 30 in terms of psychic resistance.
When you rolled exactly the number, is that a success?
Yes.
Then I succeeded.
Ouch. So close.
All of you feel a sudden drop in room temperature. Just frost permeates everywhere across the room, and you almost see bits of ice gleam across the glass. And all those of you not wearing protective armor, like the two Astartes, start to shiver at the sub-zero temperatures that emanate in this room for a moment. So let's see. Jane succeeded. Ronella, Voss, Showa, Ursula.
Sure, succeeded.
Voss and Ursula. What clothing are you wearing?
Okay, I've got beneath my suit, which is all warded to shit against psychic stuff.
Yep.
That helps. Which is I've got the breather, I've got the goggles, I've got full like heavy duty body. Not really much of a body suit, more like full on BDUs.
Yeah.
Given the desert climate outside, it would probably be. I've got the body stock on as well, but I would have been favouring the body stock outside and just kitted up to the. I wouldn't be in anything other than like moderate kit first.
Okay, so
Probably
nothing
leaning summer if I didn't know better.
summer, right? Ursula.
Actually, wait, no. Desert drops to sub-zero, so I would have known that would have known to pack both. So go ahead.
So you're wearing
Almost.
some kind of gear, right? Okay.
Hmm.
Ursula, what about you?
I've got a coat.
I would imagine that I would be wearing just general combat engineering fatigues, so they're probably kind of thick and
Yeah.
not especially insulating,
Ursula
as
has
it were.
Ursula has fur.
Yeah,
That too.
Felonid.
Alright.
No,
Not Phil.
Mutants
not Felonid.
Oof.
is a mutant. The Felonid is my character.
Just
My
a
other
regular mutant.
Oh no.
Okay. Despite your precautions, the ice permeating throughout the room now and the freezing cold temperatures really almost gets you to the bone, and you both suffer one level of fatigue. And as this happens, time almost freezes for a moment. Showa, could you roll me a Sinus test?
Gladly, do I get a bonus?
Yeah, plus 10 bonus. It's really hard to concentrate. Your thoughts start to get a bit more clouded as you perceive time just starts to slow down. But for a moment, you feel there are definitely some, at least moderately strong warp entities taking a hold of the surrounding area now. And with that, folks, I am going to do something a little different. I am going to head into the whisper chat, and I'm going to pull maybe 2, maybe 3 of you in here, so you can talk about what you like, obviously, like our character, but try not to divulge too much about what happens in the whisper chat.
Well,
Okay.
you guys have fun.
I'm going to be pulling you in one by one, and I'll like deposit you back and pull someone else in for a moment.
Cool.
There will be some rolling, but I'll try and keep it as subtle as I can.
Is this the
And your
exact
fellow party
same
members may
moment?
make some rolls.
I believe
Is
you
this
can
the
hide
exact same
dice rolls.
moment As we notice the temperature
You can,
difference?
but anyway, regardless. Hold on one moment.
Hello.
Han,
Yes.
as you notice time starting to freeze around you, you hear a voice in your head. And it speaks to you in the old tongue of your original homeworld. And it says, "Ah, Brother Ron. So fine to see you in the ranks of the Astartes. You've come a long way.
Oh
Since
shit.
the
it's a
days of the
flashback.
heresy."
Oh, it's another flashback.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not so much a flashback. You just hear the voice in your head trying to talk to you. You don't recognize it as such, but it seems like it might have been someone you talked to way back long ago. He basically says, like, you've come far since Great Crusade, the heresy, the times on Terra. And look at you now. What are you even doing now? Why?
Enduring.
Enduring in the company of heretics, heathens, those who betray the Emperor? Why?
My personal failings have led me to this, and thus I shall play with the cards I've been dealt, though I am still loyal to the Emperor.
Is that
Loyal
so?
to the end. Yes.
Well then. Prove it. Here's what I propose. You see that, just out of character thing, time has almost completely frozen, but you can kind of look around a little bit. And you hear the voice kind of come from a different direction, and it almost seems to be indicating Nulla. And it states, him, the so-called leader of your warband. Here's how you can prove your faith to the Emperor, Great Ron, of the Warhounds, formerly of the Minotaurs. Kill him for the Emperor. Strike him down. Send his soul into the void. Prove your true loyalties to him on Earth.
Is that all, Daemon?
I wasn't asking, Ron. Whatever you wish to call yourself. Do it. And Ron, could you roll me a willpower check with plus 10 for your psi armor? And you also have Blood God's Contempt, don't you?
Yeah, actually, the armor allows me to get a plus 20 to, and I've got, because of
I've tweaked the psi armor. I should have mentioned this to you and Bill earlier.
Right.
It gives plus 10 for now, but I will in the future give plus 20 when your wards basically get more bounded to you and so forth. So.
Alright, and I have got psychic resistance as well, which gives me another plus 10. And because of the Blood God's Contempt, I can actually roll twice, because the roll to resist goes before that, so I should roll twice.
Cool.
On willpower.
Yep, so you can roll willpower at plus 20 and then roll twice and pick the best one, basically.
Alright. And... yeet. And I shall tell the warp creature, I faced many like you before, and I shall face many like you again, and my faith in the Emperor shall endure, even if I'm the only one standing.
Okay.
I walk my own path.
Yeet. So, I'm just going to double check something. Where is it? Right, let's just bring it up on the sheet. Psychana. Okay. Well done, Ron. You've managed to resist its attentions for now.
Yeet.
And it kind of recoils a bit as your wards start to heat up and your mind focuses on its presence. And you notice it standing behind you next to your ear. But I won't reveal it just yet for the party, so thank you very much.
Yeah. Alright, I would just like to say that I still have a prepared action for that in case I'm able to act.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeet.
I'll send you back and I'll bring someone else in.
Alright.
Alright, Bill.
Concern.
You probably should be concerned. So, as time freezes around you, as I stated before, and the temperature plummets, you hear a voice emanate from behind you. And it says, "Ah, Guardsman Ballard. You've come a long way. First, proud guardsman of the Argo Brigade. Then, something else. Very interesting. Can't quite see what that is, but no matter. How do you feel about what you've done so far. Firstly, a proud servant to the Emperor. Now, what even are you?
There was nothing proud about what we did back then.
Really? Nothing could
Just
be.
following order.
Nothing could be prouder than serving the Emperor, surely.
It was our duty. And nothing more.
Yeah, sorry, Bo, carry on. I'm cutting you off.
No, it's okay.
Alright. He basically kind of the entity fumbles to itself and says, well, do you wish to return to his fold?
What I wish doesn't matter as much as my duty, I'm afraid.
Ha! Well, here's how you can return to your duty. You see, and the voice kind of drifts away and emanates towards Ron in the Terminator armor. Look upon him. Sorry, not Ron, someone else, right. Ziv, who is right there actually on the opposite end of the door. He says, look upon him, that foul, vile beast of a heretic, serving you alongside him. How a mighty servant has fallen, truly, but here's how you redeem yourself in his favour. It's very simple. Kill him. Kill him and send his soul to the void. I am waiting.
But even if I did hold malice in my heart for that man, I don't give people I really despise a quick death. You know, if you can see inside my head, and I know you probably fucking can. You know how we do things back in the brigade.
Yes. String him upside down, sideways. Yes, that old motto. Well,
No, he's not the first. He's not the one, but he's human.
alright then.
Those towering bodies of steel and flesh. Those engineered abominations that turn my blood to bile.
The Astartes. The finest tools of the Emperor, yes. See why you might hate them. Abominable, aren't they? Strutting around like they're demigods.
For all the horrible things we did, we couldn't even touch them. And when the bolts started flying, they went through us like paper. No matter which side we were on.
No regard for their fellows in mortal form, eh? Oh, well. How about this then? This might be more agreeable to you. Man in the Terminator armor. The one who thinks himself still loyal. Put a round through him. You have a weapon that can do it quite easily, I think. Put a shell through him. Redeem yourself in the eyes of the Imperium.
I don't need Bessie for this. He kind of, even if it's just mentally, just tightens his grip around the arrow.
How very quaint. So
I
I'll...
didn't fall for no reason. I fell for a challenge.
So basically, Bill, out of character, he's asking you to attack him, which we can resolve when you return back to the thing, unless you wish to resist in some way at all.
Oh, I'm gonna resist.
Are you going to resist his callings? Right.
Yeah. I'm going to specifically try and bait him in with the idea of me being such a simpleton. I'm using an arrow against Terminator armor.
Mm-hmm. All right. So,
And
yeah, go on.
it's just, yeah, I'm just gonna rely on the one that my body will react to this suicidal action more violently. I'm setting myself up for a gradient, and my armor's own warding. Try and help shield me a bit more.
All right.
Because the more I can keep him talking, the more like defenses I can shore up.
Yeah, as this has been happening, your wards have been burning quite hot as this creature's been conversing with you, despite the fact that time has kind of crawled to a halt, almost. Could you please, Bill, roll me a willpower at plus, let's say 30, plus 10 for your armor's wards? I've reworked the thing slightly, as I told Han, but I'll let you know after the session if there's any additional tweaks they'll make. Plus 10 for the fact that you've been talking to him for a while and kind of baiting him out as the wards grow in power. And plus 10 for the, shall we say, your undercover nature.
Oh, I'm fating that. I'm fating that.
Fate that, yeah.
I'm fucking...
By all means.
That's better.
Okay. Just going to make a roll here for my own sake. Well, good news, Voss. You've successfully managed to hold the demon's words at bay for now. And nothing further will happen when the round resumes. I will return you to the main room. I'm going to drag one more person in, and then we'll resolve what happens next very shortly. Thank you. I'll just pop you back in.
There. Oh shit, hi.
Yes, you're up, Grin. So, as time crawls to a halt and the room freezes over, you hear a voice in your head. Almost just
Not
behind
another
you.
one.
And it speaks to you in the native Krieger tongue, and it goes, "Ah, Specialist Shaw. You know, you used to be a servant of the Emperor. Back on Krieg, you were taught death is service. You have only one life to give for the Emperor. Why have you not given him your life yet?"
I can't deny the voices inside my brain. It's not a dream of one and the same, and to answer your question, my life will be given to someone who deserves it. He never proved his value.
The Emperor never gave you his value? Oh, that's an interesting one. You were born for no other reason than to die for the Emperor. What gives you the right to decide what to do with that life that he gave you?
I was born in the mud of the trenches, tortured by voices since my very birth. You think you are the first to speak to me in this way, Spectre? To speak with honeyed words and convince me of your lies. My life is mine own, was given to me by no one. My life was challenged and it was earned.
Interesting, interesting. Here's a little thing I have for you. So, the man in Terminator armor who follows your warband. He calls himself a warrior of corn. Why shouldn't you be the leader? It's quite easy. Ignite that sword of yours. Plunge it through his chest. His armor is useless. Put it straight through him. Claim your rightful place. The warrior of the blood god.
There's a time and place for everything, Spectre. Me and him both knows that the day we die will be on each other's blade. But at the moment, he is not my master, and I am not his servant. And while my blade shall find its way through his chest, why does it have to be now?
Very bold words, young Showa. But I am not asking you this time. Do it. And with that, Gren, could you please roll me a resist psychic test, essentially?
Alright, let me see
so
what
let's
I
see what
got.
modifiers. I will grant you some circumstantial modifiers once you tell me what you have by default.
Let's see here. I've got hatred of psychers and psychic powers.
Yep.
I've got warp sense, technicians, and let me check. And I am, of course, a psyker.
Yep.
And finally, I've got. I got the potential to activate frenzy in response to that.
I will say the test will be made at a +20 on willpower to resist him, and he's going to be making a roll for a certain power.
Oh, right!
Yeah.
And I have a psychic hood.
Oh, yes. Psychic hood might be quite potentially useful. Cool. Give me one moment.
Yep.
Well done, Gren. For now, you've managed to resist the subversion by the entity's power, and as you manage to resist it, and your mind burns hot with focus, it starts to you start to notice its presence directly behind you, and I shall now move you back into the main room.
Can I say one thing first?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Commandant, but I don't think you outrank me any longer.
Yeet. So, I'll return you back to the main room. I was going to do combat, but this has probably dragged on a bit long, so I'll resolve
it's fine. We can just resume next week. It's interesting.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you there in a moment.
You got a boyfriend, I get it, he doesn't kiss you.
What a moment to return to.
Yeah, Bill had to go.
That's fine.
I knew we would devolve into TikTok memes.
So,
by the 9, he hit the dab.
With that out
by
of the
the
way,
9.
We're going to end on a cliffhanger, and we'll actually play next week instead of, because this week's going to be a clusterfuck, so... Any final thoughts, people, before we close out for the night?
Fucking warp ghosts!
I like pizza.
I would just like to say that the Knights Errant did absolutely nothing wrong.
I would
I've
just like
named
to
my
say...
moth Kenny.
I would just like to say that the Stormcloaks and the Empire both have, you know, pretty good things about them.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, the Empire is going to be a stronger force against the Thalmor.
The violent winds are upon us, and I can't sleep. Internal temperatures rising, and all the voices won't recede.
Jesus Christ.
So,
What do the numbers mean?
6
Alright.
million. 6 million is a big number.
Oh no!
oh jeez. Right. Thank you very much for joining us on this lovely evening, folks, who may be watching this later on. We'll resume this very soon, hopefully next week. Ciao for now, as we return to the spooky house at a later date.
Fuck ghosts!
How sweet to say.